It's time to start the recording. Boom. It's our tier lists, baby. I have everything. I have it all, I promise. This is the Jokers, of course, as you can tell from what we're looking at. Now, I'll go through and describe everything as we see it. Of course, we got pack one, pick one. It's on site. It's actually on site. If I see it, I'm taking it. There's, like, no question. Like, this Joker is, like, the GOAT, basically. These are, like, the best Jokers. Because, obviously, like, everything is situational in Balatro. That's, like, the one thing you have to take in mind. But, like, looking at some of these things in their best situations, or at least in their average, like, the pair of pants, bro. Where's pants? Trousers? Where's that guy at? Wherever that guy's at. Obviously, on anti-6, I'm not taking trousers. But if I see trousers anti-1, you best fucking believe I'm taking them. There's not even a question. We got GSM Void. That's the second tier. This isn't the best to ever do it at everything. But I would never say no to having a Joker in this tier on the team, bro. Like, you're going to have at least a Joker from this tier on your team probably every game. The sixth man? I mean, that's a Joker that, like, once you actually get the 5 you want, once you get the band together, you got to sell the 6th man. But he's there to stay until that happens, and if they never show up, he's there to stay. That's the 6th man. Revolving door, you're in and you're out. There's not even a question about it, bro. Like, you're in until it's time for you to get the fuck out, which could be for anything. The 6th man beats the revolving door, you know? And then last pick in Dodgeball, I mean, you got the idea. Like, there's nothing left, bro. There's nothing left to take. So, your last pick. Alright? I'll go over these again when it happens. Challenges. Q dodge. Get out of there. Either you can't, you're not winning. Top frag and lost. You did everything you could, but you still lost. Unlucky. I got mine. The team's doing pretty well, but you still did your work. Hard carry? Listen. Someone carried you to the end, bro. Like, you didn't have to do much. You just got to chill. Freelo? Not even a chance. Literally not even a chance you lost. Actual free game. This is the same thing. It's just in reverse order because it's best to worst. And this one is like the worst one's at the top. Job's reward. Job is the guy that got his whole family killed. Just to prove that if you're faithful to God, that you get your stuff back. So if you like get your whole family killed, this is your reward for it. Crisp adapt. You fucking love to see it, bro. Like, you feel me? Plain white tees. It's finally our time now, if you get that. If I got cash, I'll spend it, I guess. A broken clock, write twice a day. Simple. Pack one, pick one. You already got that. Pack one, pick one. You got it. 2 blind prayer hand emoji. You are dead within 2 blinds. I'm sorry. Famous last words. This is not I thought about My Chemical Romance, but I wrote famous last words. This is like, I probably got it. Don't got it. Let me think. You got to think about it. You got to think about whether you're dead or not. Sense of danger. I could feel a little bit. RNG wanted me dead. It's like the only way you lose these blinds. Like, actually the only way. Tears. Skips. Good Kid Mad City. There's no skips here. MacGyver. This is a creative way to have the skip be worth more than what you're actually doing. Pills here. Temporary boost. You better fucking get something actually permanent off of this to keep you alive, because this isn't going to do it. Desperation, you know you're going to lose. You got to do it. Not a chance. Self-explanatory. Finally, we got the card modifiers. Eyes for you, the always, of course. Crisp dap makes its return. Firm handshake. It's not a crisp dap, but, like, you know, there's still a connection there. Irish goodbye. I was glad to see you come in. Gambling again. We're just making tiers. We're just making tiers. We're just making tier lists. I'm not going to play the game, unfortunately. Irish goodbye. Hey, handshakes, welcome back. I'm good. It's glad to see you. I'm not telling you when I'm leaving, or in this case, when you're leaving. And then get out of my head. I just don't want to see it anymore. So we're starting with Jokers, of course. Pack one, pick one Jokers. We're just going to go in order. This is the old 8-ball. I don't care. Revolving door. What is this about? This is about Balatro. Video game name of Balatro. If you've never played it, this is gonna make no sense to you. I'm sorry. This stream will mean nothing at all. But yeah, we're starting with 8-ball. This is Never played it? Yeah, you're gonna have no clue what's going on. Magic 8 Ball is revolving door tier. This comes in. I'll play some 8s while I've got it, and then the chance, unless my deck is already geared around 8s, it's gone. There's not even a question. It's tossed out without a doubt. It's gone. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Abstract Joker is 6th man. He is here for the 15 molt you're gonna get early, and then once you get 15 molt, you keep him around for a little bit. This is like a D&D or Pokemon. Nope, not related to anything else. It's just poker with extra steps. You feel me? I recommend checking it out. It's a fun game. But yeah, Abstract Joker, he's good for 15. He gets his time. He's good for his 15 minutes, like realistically. He's as good for as much bolt as he gives, and then you get rid of him for something else. He's a 6th man. You love to see him, but he will be gone at the end of the day. We got what is this? Acrobats, Acrobat Joker, whatever this is called. Probably even a revolving door. I don't care about Acrobat Joker. Realistically, gold stake, Acrobat Joker, you need all the money you can get. You're not playing down to last hand. And I want to win in one hand. I want to play, if I have these last hand jokers, I want my last hand to be the best hand I play. So to get there, I have to play all my hands out and lose all the money I'm going to get. So is this a good joker? Of course. It could always help. But like, I just want to win. Like, you just want to win on the first hand, and this doesn't help you with that. So I'll take it, but I would get rid of it pretty quick. Ancient Joker is last pick in Dodgeball. There's a case to be made for the guy, right? If you're just doing like add cards to the deck kind of build, then like it's worth it, right? You got every suit. You're not going through anything. Then like it's got time. It's got its moments for sure. But man, if you are playing one suit, this guy's worthless 75% of the time. Well, there are some jokers that don't have jokers in them, like the 8 Ball. I mean, it says Joker, I guess. It's got that much going for it. Yeah, last pick in Dodgeball, it's like not even a question. GSM Void tier, bro. Let's be so for real. You love this guy on the team, bro. The Spade Arrowhead. Arrowhead is like exactly what you need. It's better Scary Face, like, which is crazy because Scary Face is good, but Scary Face is so good because of its supporting jokers. Arrowhead's good because it's Arrowhead. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's a magical joker. We take it. Gonna leave since you know what's happening. Yeah, I understand. All right, have a good day, man. Yeah, he's just the GOAT. He's the best at what he does. He's up there for like, I don't know. He's just up there. I'll play flushes around this guy. This is a deck setter, bro. This guy, whatever it's called. I don't even know if I can find what it's called. I can't see my mouse. I forgot about this. I already passed it. Oh, wait, I didn't. Astronomer. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I forgot. Good night if you don't come back. Hello, or have a nice day. Yeah, you too, man. Astronomer's cool. I'll pick him up and get my free things in the shop while he's there. But keeping him, it's not something that happens anymore. He has his moments. Don't get me wrong. If you got Telescope, he could be 6th man. You could convince me a 6th man. Actually, you know, it's true. You know what? Yeah, 6th man. Actually, okay. To be fair, like, a lot of these are 6th man if you really think about it. Like, you just hold them until you get something better. But revolving door is like, I'll get rid of you for something else in 6th man if I want to. Like, am I going to keep these over these? I mean, okay. Here's the thing. Acrobat is a better joker. if I really want to win, I'm way more likely to have Acrobat than I am to have this guy, which I think just means he's here. Like, you're in for the time, but I'd rather have, like, whatever I can get besides that. This is the same way I feel about the flag. I think the flag's here. Yeah, the flag's really good at the start. That's like what he's made for. He's made for the start. Get a flag. Get a molt. Get like a half joker. Play one card. Take your free win. Get your money for the hands you have. And like, you know, roll with what you got going. He's not gonna keep it down for you. He's not gonna win you the run in any way. But he's chill, you know? Cycle him through, see what he's up to. Sauce him out. That's it, man. That's really it. Baron is a 6th man. Listen. Baron's good, but on gold stake, I'll keep him. Don't get me wrong. But he is like the definition of a 6th man. He's on the team because I might get something going with him. But if I don't, boom, gone. Frame 1. Out. I'd rather have Abstract Joker than Baron on the average run, unfortunately. And gold stake? Yikes, dude. And it's the same way I feel about the baseball Joker. I'll take him, and I'll hold him. I'll hold him longer than I'll hold these revolving door Jokers. He's probably also here, if we're being real. I do think uncommon Jokers are kind of iffy. Like, there are some good ones in here, in this list. But, like, uncommon Jokers don't do... They're so good at modifying something and not giving something a lot of the time. So this gives you the molt multiplier, but it doesn't always give you the molt. And it doesn't give you the chips for sure. So he's cool. I mess with him heavy. But I just don't think he's, like, good enough. He's just going to stay for, like, a little bit of time. Actually, you know what? I'm probably more likely to keep Baron than, like, the baseball card. The baseball card's like a... I'll take Baron if I have the money, and I'll keep him. Baseball card's like a skip. Sometimes. Blackboard. Where does Blackboard go? Probably also a 6-man, but he's a way better 6-man than Abstract Joker is. What is this? 3x molt? It's 3x molt if you only have like spades or clubs left. Yeah, 3x molt for spades and clubs only. Yeah, 3x molt's a lot of molt. I take that. Oh, what are we with Bloodstone, dude? I love Bloodstone, but man, it's like not good a lot of the time. It's the issue is it's not 6-man and it's not revolving door. If you take it, you're building your run around it. I guess it is kind of GSM Void tier, right? I pick it up every time I see it, like pretty much without fail. Again, they're all everything in Balatro is situational, right? So if it's early, this Joker's staying with me, and I'm making the build around it. And then if it stops working, I die. But like, yeah, I mean that's just kind of how it goes. You know, it's kind of gotta be here, but like it's just here because it can't be lower than this tier. I think it like has to be here, so I think it'll stay there. Blue Joker is a 6-man, and he's a lower 6-man than Abstract Joker because the more you discard, the worse he gets. He's better than the Banner for sure, because the Banner loses 30 per discard, which is crazy because you usually have 2 discards, so it's 60 chips at best. So this is based on your whole deck, 2 chip per card, and then discarding obviously makes it worse, but it keeps it better than this most of the time. So yeah, he's good, but I'd rather have the guaranteed molt to multiply versus like the chips that are gonna be iffy depending on how I decide to discard. Blueprint is a pack 1 pick 1, bro. I mean, he's like the GOAT. I mean, he's whatever you want him to be. That's the glory of Blueprint. He does whatever you need him to do. You need him to multiply? Boom. You need base mult? Boom. Chips? Boom. Money? Boom. Cards? Boom. He does everything you want. More hands for the fuck of it? Boom. Like, he basically does whatever anything you have does. There's some cases where he can't. But a lot of the cases he can't are things that you don't even care about anyway. Like, he's just gotta be the GOAT. He's too good at what he does. Bootstraps. Bootstraps is an iffy one because he is a good sixth man. Don't get me wrong, he's a good sixth man. Dude, I unironically think like Bootstraps is like a top tier sixth man. He's not though. He's shit. He's like a really bad, he's like a really bad sixth man. He's like most of the time not gonna give you a lot of mult. If you're keeping your money up, he'll give you a decent amount. But like, hold on, I gotta turn window capture off for this, right? Wherever Bootstrap is in this, there he is. It's 2 mult for $5. So if you keep your money up to 25, you're getting 10 mult. That's not very good. And I'm trying to spend my money. That's why I've got it. So it's like, this is going to be really funny because the bowl is like right coming up. He's like, it's like he should be GSM Void tier, but he's not good enough to be, he's not good enough to build around. He doesn't give enough mult for the requirements he has. So on his own, if I'm looking at him in a vacuum, he's probably revolving door. I just don't like him that much on his own. He just doesn't do it. Might be sixth man though. I'm really willing to keep him around. And if you ask me on the average run, would I rather have Baron or baseball card or Bootstrap? On the average run, it's Bootstrap. But would I rather have him above these things on the average run? The answer is no. I just can't say yes to that. Like, he doesn't do enough on his own. Brainstorm, aka Green Needle, is GSM Void tier. He's like the top though. He's like, the issue with Brainstorm is he's inarguably worse than Blueprint. They just can't be in the same tier, unfortunately. Because leftmost means that if you have a flat mult in your Joker's that's worth a lot, and then a mult multiplier, you just have to either ignore the plus mult and just take 2 mult multipliers, but at awkward times, which at that point you wouldn't even need the flat mult anymore, or you have to just double the flat mult. So like at his worst, he's like a 2x mult basically. Which isn't that good. It's not bad, but it's not that good either. Like, but at his best, he's just another Blueprint. Like, he's basically anything you want him to be with some exceptions. So, like, he can't be pack 1, pick 1, because there's way more exceptions for him than him. But he's definitely up there. And then speaking of, like, speaking of cards that are really good with some exceptions, the Bull is, like, the bottom of Void tier, bro. It's like, the Bull is if I get the Bull early, I'm going money build. I'm gonna try it. If I get the boot early, I probably can't go money build. It's probably not enough. But the Bull is really good to start the build. So he's like I'll always take him and I'll always try. And the Bootstrap just doesn't get that. So it's like he gets his time. He's good. But, and I really think that if you get these money jokers, they're pretty close to a free win if you just get them together, plus like a multiplier, or you just like start playing high card or something, right? There's a lot to get out of these jokers, but like Bull on his own, he's not a sixth man. He's a build around, in my opinion. You're happy to see him when he shows up, but just like, he can't go that high. All right, Burglar. Burglar is like Bull, but not good enough to be as high as Bull, I think. He's a really good 6-man. I'll take him for the cash if I know I can win. I'll take him in a high card build because that's what they're for. But if I'm playing a build that isn't high card, right? If I'm not playing high card, then I'm probably the closest thing I'm playing to high card probably is like 2 pair with like trousers. And I'd rather discard in those runs than I would play extra hands. Even though trousers is pretty good. It's pretty give or take. But to scale, I would rather have the discards because you need to scale more than you need this guy early. And I probably get better jokers than him later. So I'm not worried about him too much later in the game. So he's really close to like an always take in my mind. He's super good. But there are just some runs you cannot afford to have him. But he is really good at the time that you get him. So he's like too good to be a revolving door because he's not in and out. Sometimes he's in, but he's a 6th man. Like, I'll get rid of him for something better. Even in a high card build, you can get rid of him for something better. All right. Burnt Joker. Dude, Burnt Joker is gonna take over Burglar's spot as the top tier 6th man, and he might stay there for the rest of the tier list. Sorry, a little bit of a rehydration. He's good. He's really good. Free scaling on high card always, which is a hand worth scaling, assuming you have nothing else to scale. It's like not something I'd be sad to scale, because you'll always play a high card pretty much. You always have that ability, right? So he's good, but he's harder to use in runs where you're really looking for something specific. Of course, you get the ability to play hands and then discard to get that whatever you want. But I'm not going to keep him the whole run, probably. A lot of the times he's going for something. Like, the more you scale your hand, the higher it gets, the less the next level up for that thing matters. So, if I got a level 12 flush, and there's a multiplier sitting there, I got Cavendish sitting there. Okay, well, I don't care about the next +2 multi I'm going to get to all my flushes in the future. I care way more about the 3x multi I'm going to get on the next hand I play. So, he's a 6th man. He just doesn't... He can't be a part of the team permanently. Or he shouldn't be. He can, technically. Like, if he was the first Joker I saw, and he's Eternal, I might take him and roll with him. But if he wasn't Eternal, he's most likely going to get sold at some point before the run's over anyway. So for that, he's just got to stay in 6th man. I can't give him GSM Void tier. Alright, business card. What do we do with business card? Business card is revolving door, unfortunately. He's better than these. If you get him early, play a 3 of a kind, play a full house with some face cards in it, play a 2 pair. You know, try and get some money out of it. You know, he gets his moments with hanging chads, but if I'm really talking about like winning a run, business card's not really popping up on the radar. He's got his time, don't get me wrong. But is he gonna get his time going? Like, not really, man. He's just not really got it like that, I fear. He just doesn't have it. So for that reason, I can't exactly, you know, I can't exactly make him have a better spot than I think he deserves. And like, he gets you some cash. He can jumpstart the economy, but he's not saving it. Well, he could save it in Balatro terms, but in terms of regular economy, he's jumpstarting, but he's not saving. So for that, that's all business card gets to. All right, Kaneo is the face card one, right? Yeah, when a face card is destroyed. I'm really torn on him because what he should be is a pack 1, pick 1. But man, destroying face cards on occasion can be really hard. It can be tough. But he scales so fast. Scaling by 1x molt is not something that you see pretty much anywhere else in the entire game. Like, Lucky Cat's 0.25, you know, Holograms 2.5, Glass Joker 7.5. If you want to count, like, something like Stencil Joker, you get some Madness is 0.5. Like, there's not a lot of ways, if any at all. I really don't. I don't think there's a single one to scale 0.1 in like one, you know, one situation. It's just like, it's just not a thing that happens. So he is really good. He's worthless on Abandoned deck. Completely worthless on Abandoned deck. But man, is he good. I guess the thing is, dude, even on Abandoned deck, I'm adding face cards to try and destroy them, bro. Like, he's so worth trying to use. But, like, if I'm comparing him to other legendaries, is he a pack one, pick one? He's really high up there, bro. He's much easier. I think he has to be. He scales way too hard to, like, not. Like, obviously, there's, like, when you get him, he's gonna be worthless. But it's just, he gets online so fast. There's so much benefit to him. Campfire? Campfire is a tough one for me, man. I don't want to keep Campfire around. I basically never want to rely on Campfire because sometimes you just don't get anything to sell. Sometimes he just has nothing. I hate Campfire. That's how I feel. It's really good. It's like actually a good card, but you need money. And on Gold Stake, sometimes he just shows up too early. Like, that's the thing. A lot of these jokers are like, I have to look at them when you get them early. Because obviously a lot of jokers when you get them late are like kind of not good. That's like the issue. I guess that's like the difference with like something like Bull. Like Bull, if you get him late, you probably don't care. Don't like Campfire and Obelisk because Obelisk is bad. Spoiler alert. But it makes me think about the whole tier list, bro. Because I'm like, Bull is bad late. You never want to see it late. Campfire you want to see late, but you don't really ever want to see early. And then you look at some of the other things. No, okay, this is pretty right. Dude, Canio makes me feel like I should move it now. Because I also don't really want to see Canio late. But I probably built around face cards. I got a bunch of them. You can destroy them. I like building around face cards. Alright, back to Campfire. I think he's good. He's really good. But I think he's like... He's not GSM Void tier in my list. He just can't be. Is he better than Burglar? I don't think he is better than Burglar. Is he better than Blackboard? Probably. Is he, though? Dude, if you've built around Blackboard, Blackboard's so much better. He's so much better. Yeah, I'd rather have the 3x. It's so easy to make Blackboard work over time than it is to make Campfire, bro. Sometimes you just don't have money. It's a rare Joker. It takes selling. If you're talking about... Sometimes you can't sell Jokers, and if you have consumables that are good, you can't sell those either. You have nothing to sell. Would I rather him over Abstract? Dude, on the average run, I wouldn't even have him over Abstract Joker. I'd rather have Abstract Joker on the average run than Campfire. Campfire is so good if you know about him. But I think of, like, if I just see this Joker pop up and I have no context of the run, most of the time Campfire is not getting put into the conversation. He just can't be. He can't be in the conversation. He doesn't, like, there's too much work around him. You need money. I'm spending my money all the time. I'm not saving that shit for anything. One run where Campfire was good and I lost, it was paired with with Vagabond. I fuck with that run heavy. I've used Campfire. I used it before it got nerfed. I used it after it got nerfed, right? I've used it to win. If you have a lot of money, if you're popping temperances for $50, you're cycling through, right? But if you're like not doing that, I don't want him, man. He's not good enough. Card Sharp, my man's, is easily in void tier, without a doubt. Is he pack one, pick one though? You know what hand you're playing most. Pretty much every game. There's no doubt you know what you're playing most every game. So could he be a pack one, pick one? It depends on the hand. But I'd say on average, you're at least playing 2 of whatever hand you're playing. He's really good in high card. He's really good in these easy hands. And then he's 3x at high. He takes 2 hands, so you lose to like the plant, and you lose to no repeat hand types. There's 2 boss blinds that can mess with him. But if you're just talking about winning the run, he's kind of really good. He's like really good. He's so good that I'm like, he's kind of gotta be pack one, pick one. I'm taking him every time. And then just playing my hand. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. We have the Cartomancer. This is a high up on 6 man for me, I think. I'm probably more likely to keep him over Campfire, I think. I have Campfire and Cartomancer. Who do I keep? It's probably Cartomancer. I think of what Campfire can do for me. I think of what Campfire can do for me. And I think of what Cartomancer can do for me. And I think about a glass card. I think about $20 double cash. I think about $10 temperances. I'm thinking about plus chip, plus molt, change suit. I'm thinking about all these things. Make a Joker, for God's sakes. It can make a Joker. Make a whole damn Joker if you get lucky. Stone cards, 50 chips. You're playing 2 pair, boom. Playing high card, boom. There's so much that Cartomancer can do. Sometimes it doesn't really give you anything. But it's like 1 tarot card every round is like, I'm holding that until, you know, I gotta get rid of it, basically. It's not a card that comes up every so often, but like, Cartomancer's like, okay, Cartomancer's like I said, you get rid of it when you have to, usually. Sometimes it's when you want to, right? But a lot of times it's like when you have to. Campfire is like crash and burn. Campfire is like, this run is either gonna win or lose, and Campfire either matters all of it or none of it. If I can't scale it, we're crashing and burning. If I can scale it, I probably already have a good run going because I have so much money that I can scale Campfire already. So in that case, Cartomancer is doing more than I think a Campfire is gonna do for me, man. Like, I can't vibe with Campfire like that. He don't do it like the Yardomancer does. Castle? Castle on checker deck? Really good. But Castle on like every other deck in the entire game is kinda not good. It's like, I really like him, dude. I really do. He's so good. He's a good man, man. He's got a family. He's got a wife and kids, bro. Like, I don't want to let Castle down, but sometimes Castle's letting me down, for real, for real. Every time I've tried to take Castle, not on checker deck, after that one checker deck run I had with him, bro, he has done a whole hell of a lot of nothing. He's like not last pick Dodgeball tier, but dude, he is so unfortunately like not good. Like, he should be 6th man. I want him in 6th man tier. I want to be like, yeah, that's my guy. I'm keeping him until something else crazy pops up, right? But man, oh fucking man, does he not do it for me, bro? I'd rather have him over Campfire. But I wouldn't rather have him over Cartomancer. I don't think, man. He's too variable. Sometimes you just draw bad. Sometimes he just wants you to discard the suit you're playing, man. Like, oh, I want Castle to have a life, but he doesn't want me to have one, bro. Like, what do you want me to say? I'd rather have Castle over Blue Joker? Dude. Oh. I don't know, man. I think I'd rather have Blue Joker over Campfire, though, at this point. Campfire's a multiplier. He's so fucking good, man. He's so good. He should be good. He should be the GOAT. He should be up there. And they should have his jersey in the rafters, man. But they killed him. They shot him dead in the street because he was too good. And now he's not good enough, I don't think, anymore. He's somewhere in the middle, man. Oh, I hate to see it. I hate to see it happen, but I can't keep him up there. But I'd rather have him in Bootstraps. Bootstraps is the same thing, but worse in my mind. I might have Abstract Joker for 15. I might have this guy for 10 and I gotta spend money. And I have no Molt and a multiplier, so what am I gonna do now? But Castle? Revolving Door? Dude. No, man, he can't. But he's not even a fucking 6-man, bro. He's not even on the fucking bench. He's in the locker room while the game's happening. He's never coming out either, bro. He has one situation where he's so good, though. He's so good on checker deck. Oh, he's so good on checker deck, man. It's such a sad way to see him go down like this, but, like, dude. I think it has to, bro. I think he's gotta go, like, the very bottom. He's not a revolving door. I'm trying to make him work. I just don't know that he will. Pack my pick on Cavendish. Not even a question. It's better than Cartomancer. It's literally a 3x molt for free. I don't think I've ever had one get destroyed on me, and I have thousands of hours in this game. By thousands, I mean hundreds. So, he's got to be there. Ceremonial Dagger is last pick Dodgeball. I don't even give a fuck. I hate Ceremonial Dagger. He needs a Joker slot. He's plus molt at the cost of money, but you're only getting like half of what you're getting, or you're getting double, I think. But you're buying a Joker for 5. It sells for 2. He's giving you 4 or something. I don't know. Is it double the value, or is it just the value? Where's my mouse at? Is it just the value? I don't even know where Ceremonial Joker is in this list. I should just have another thing up so I can look up these things. Double the sell value? The double the sell value of the average Joker is not enough. Sorry. Ceremonial Dagger is bad. Certificate of Authenticity. Wow. What a hard one to place. What a Joker I absolutely love to have. I love to have Certificate. If I see it early, I'll take it and hold it for as long as I can. I'll promise you. I'll take Certificate and I'll hold out for Hologram. I'm gonna sit there and hold out for Hologram for the rest of my fucking life. He is there until I absolutely need to sell him, bro. To the fucking last minute I can hold Certificate, I'm keeping on to him for dear fucking life. He ain't good enough to win. He's not good enough to get Void Tier. Even though for me, I think he might be. I'm always happy to have him on the team. I'll pick him up. I don't give a fuck. I'm taking Authenticity ticket to the moon if I can. But I'm so ready to get rid of him when the time comes and Hologram hasn't showed up. So, I think I'm more likely to keep him than I am to keep. Nah, that's probably crazy. Am I really more likely to keep him than Burnt Joker? Depends what I'm playing. Certificate can get me more planets than this guy can get me. It can do so much. For Burnt Joker. It's like they're both really good. They're both so damn good. I just like what Certificate can do for me more, I think. A Red Seal a red seal lucky card, a red seal glass card, a blue or red seal steel card, a hanging Chad's gold, a tarot card to get rid of. It's a random number, a random suit. It could be anything. It could even be a diamond, right? It could be literally anything. He's so good. He's so good, dude. I'm so close to talking myself into void tier, but he's not that good. But he should be that good, though. He's so good. He's so good, dude. I want to keep him to the end of the run if I could. He's just like, he's so on the verge of 6th man, bro. But I think I have to keep him there. I don't know if anything is going to beat authenticity in the 6th man column. Chaos the Clown is top of revolving door. It's pretty simple. He's there to get me my rerolls. A lot of the time it's a buy, reroll, sell. I'd put him in 6th man. I'd be really tempted to put him in 6th man, but he's not good enough for that. He literally is there to buy and sell after one free reroll, but he is really good. I have kept him around much longer than, you know, some jokers in revolving door or even 6th man. But there's things to hold out for on these jokers here at the bottom, you know? There's nothing to hold out for Chaos the Clown. Flash card is not enough to value Chaos the Clown. Tumult a thing is cool, but wait till you find out about trousers, you know? Then it's like, yeah, we've already got that. We've got Tumult at home, you know? And it's better at home too. Chakot. Chakot is probably void tier and probably above all the suit cards and a bull. I hate seeing him because he's a legendary joker that isn't one of the fun ones, but he is really good. He does everything you need him to do. Boss blinds are scary, but like, there's nothing to fear when you got Chakot. He does so much. There's like one time you don't want him, and that's during the like discard played or discard hands always draw 3. Because then you just want to discard, get your freeze, play your ones, get your ones back. It's kind of sad to see him there sometimes, but for the most part, bro, Chakot, he's so good. He's really good. I love to have him. I'm pretty much always willing to keep him on the team. He's not a pack one, pick one, because I could realistically see myself selling him. But yeah, I won't. This is 2 paired chips, I think. Whatever this guy is. Where's my mouse at? This is this one. Clever Joker, 2 pair, 80 chips. Welcome to Revolving Door, and like the bottom of it. Same thing with Cloud9, I think. It's basically Revolving Door. I don't ever plan on keeping him around. He's there for the money that I'm going to get from him. He's even worse than this guy gives me something, you know? It's like, I can see the 80 chips being worth something in the end. I really can. But Cloud9, yeah. It's just like Cloud9 is just, I want to give him more than he's worth, but 9s don't have anything to play around. They don't do anything special in the game. They're not a fib card. They're not a walkie-talkie card. They're not a hat card. They're not a face card. They're nothing. They don't do anything special. So, yeah, Cloud9 would be cool if there was any other Joker so you could stack a bunch of 9s. I mean, don't get me wrong. You don't actually need a Joker to make, like, stacking one singular card good for the most part. But it makes it a lot easier to be good. So it's like, I'm glad to have him for the time I have him. And he probably should be above 8-ball. But sometimes if I get 8-ball early enough, I will stack 8s because I'll take the tarot cards. The 9s, if I stack them, I'm just getting the money. I can deal with the money myself. Constellation is like, I used to love this guy. I used to love Constellation, bro. I used to think Constellation was the best, like one of the best cards in the game. But Constellation has fallen so far from grace in my mind every single time I see him. It'd be nice on erratic deck, true. every time I see Constellation, dude. Oh my, I have no money. No money. And I can't scale him. And when I do, I have no money. So I can't keep scaling him. He requires too much. He scales too slowly. He's like better than this, maybe, on the average run? I don't even know if that's true, man. He's really bad. Probably more likely to keep him than Castle. But, dude, Constellation's not good. Dude, on average, it's just like a 1.3x molt. It's so bad, dude. It's like the same as getting a vampire early and getting nothing to go. Like, you have to do so much work to make this guy work that I don't think it's worth it. Just don't think it is. Speaking of 6-man, flush chip Joker. This is 100 chip. 80 chip for a flush. It's so easy to get 80 chips for a flush. One flush can get you way more than 80 chips. It's not even a question, bro. He's better than this. Am I more likely to keep him around than Chaos the Clown? 100%. Dude, look, he's better than Castle, probably, though. He's not better than Constellation. And Castle's not Revolving Door. He's just not. You keep him for a little bit. This is the straight multiplier guy. Straight mult. Crazy Joker. 12 mult for a straight. When the flush is 10, it's easier to play. He is like probably here. He's gonna help you win. But I'd rather have Acrobat. Acrobat's also gonna help me win. And I just don't like playing straights that much. Actually, like, last pick in Dodgeball, but like really bad. I pretty much never use credit card. If you ever go into debt, you've basically ruined your run. So he's like a last-ditch effort kind of thing. I pretty much never use him. I don't really want to see him. Yeah, I just can't. I can't be bothered to give credit card the light of day. I literally take credit card if it's my first Joker and roll down until I can't roll again, and then if I didn't see anything that I liked in that time, I restart the run. That's how it always goes. So, yeah, that's about how I feel about that guy. Delayed gratification, I think is what this is called, is Revolving Door. Is it below Cloud9? Probably, because Cloud9 at least allows you to discard, right? Delayed gratification is the same thing as Banner. Get your Banner, get your half Joker, play your free one-hand win for the first, like, 2 antes, get your money with delayed gratification, and get it out of your inventory. You need discard, so it doesn't even work with Burglar, who doesn't let you discard, because you beat him. And then, yeah, who cares? Like, he's gone. I'm sorry, bro. You're not worth that much to me. The straight chip Joker is below the 2-pair Joker. I don't necessarily care that much about the chips that come with the straight. When it comes to playing straights. I care a little bit more about the mults. It's something you want more early. It'll do more for you. And the chips, I'd just rather have chips some other way. I'd rather do 2-pair. I'd rather play 2-pair than straight, basically, is what it comes down to. So he's cool to have. I might play straights while I have him, but I'm never going to build straights because he exists. Same way I feel about the molt one. I'd just rather have the molt. I mean, of course, Revolving Door on Coca-Cola, or whatever this is actually called. The question is, where does it go? Because in gold, you don't skip a lot when it comes to actually, like, playing. So I don't even really buy him a lot. Sometimes I don't even have room to get rid of anything to buy him. So in terms of Revolving Door, he's, like, here. Probably here, actually. He's in the same place as the Astronomer Joker. I'll buy him, get what I can get out of him, and sell him, which is literally just buying and selling him in this case. He's cool. I like him, but you don't skip a lot, so a lot of times you just buy and sell him and nothing happens. So, but I'd rather have it than 8-ball. If you said, what would you rather find in your run? The Coca-Cola or 8-ball? It's Coca-Cola, I mean, for sure. I'm taking the Coke. DNA. Good 6th man. Real good 6th man here. Wait. I'm waiting. Where's my wife? I said your wife wasn't here. That was the whole the message. I said no Pepper and no Pepper's wife. Your wife is not here. I'm sorry. Bad tier list? Bro, how am I supposed to have access to your wife at all in any way, man? I can't do that. I know you and I don't have access to you. How am I supposed to get access to person? Your wife could not exist for all I know, man. I don't know your wife. I don't know her, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. All right, anyway, back to DNA. It's a really good 6, man. It's probably like here. He's good. I love to see him. Take him, throw him in, get a couple cards out of him, you know? But then he's gone. Out. He's so happy to be on stream with you. What is this emoji? What is that? She does exist. Check the VODs. Perchance. What is this supposed to be? What am I looking at? Oh, it's the I see it in the thing. I see it in the stream chat. Pepper, here's what I'll say. We can do a stream together, but it can't be this one. I'm sorry. I'd love to have you here, but I have to look at my tier list and make it my way, or I'll be tainted with the views of others. And when people watch me play Balatro, they go, "Why is he doing that? You shouldn't do that." I'm talking about Cone, at Cone. What are you doing, dude? Like, why are you playing 5 of a kind, dude? Like, oh my god, they're both rental jokers. Why'd you take them? And then I win the run. So it's like I gotta lock in, you know? They don't see it the way I see it. I play the game different, bro. Everyone's out here, they're watching Balatro University. They think he's the GOAT. I think Balatro University doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm playing the game and I'm beasting. He says Vagabond is F tier? I'm throwing Vagabond in the fucking rafters. He's got his jersey next to LeBron. He's fucking dunking on every motherfucker around. That's not true. But he's up there, bro. He's really up there. I'm telling you, bro. They don't put respect on some of these jokers' names, bro. And I get it. But if I'm trying to ball out, I might Vagabond it up. We'll talk about it when we get there. I don't even remember what I just talked about or on driver's license. Here's my issue with driver's license. It's like Constellation, but the fuck is this guy yapping about? You came to a stream that's about yapping. What did you expect to get? The thing with driver's license is it's like Constellation, but it's all at once. You have to spend your money and time depending on what you have. You might, again, if you have Vagabond, the driver's license is like free. You're gonna get him done in a few hands, basically. He's really good. He's a 3x molt. But sometimes you have 16 and something breaks, or you lose a card, or something can happen that can make him stop working. He takes a lot of money to get. He's good. When he's online, he's just online, and it's great. But when he's not online, he takes a little while to get there. He is probably about Blackboard tier. He's about the same spot. It's 3x molt with a condition. It's a little bit harder to set up. But, actually, he's probably here. He's one of the jokers I'll take early, but I'm so willing to get rid of. He's like Campfire. You need the money to get him done. Sometimes he's already good to go. It kind of depends. I'm iffy with what's going on here, right? I'm iffy, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I'll give him that. He's a good 6 man. I'll sell him for a better molt. I'll sell him for a molt that's already active. Something that's easier, you know? But while he's here, you know, I'm glad to see him. Blue Joker shouldn't be this high, bro. He's not even that good. I'm sorry, bro. He shouldn't be here. He should be over the boot, though. What are these tiers? I don't understand anything. All right. Pack one, pick one. That's the GOAT. That means, like, first, you see a bunch of cards. The first one you're taking. GSM Void, you love to have him on the team. Always on the team, bro. He ain't the GOAT, but it doesn't matter the situation. I want that guy on my team, basically. Pretty much what it means. Now, you might ask, why is the bull there? Because I like the bull. I'll take him pretty much any time. And I fuck with him. Sixth man? There's only 5 Joker slots, so if the 5 guys pull up, no burgers and fries, the 6th man's gotta go. Revolving door? In and out. Last pick and dodgeball? Literally have to be the only thing for me to take, and I'll take it because I need to. Boom. All of the tiers are like this, by the way. There's a bunch of different lists, and I've made tiers for all of them. Some of them are the same as this one, and some of them are different. So I'm willing to explain them whenever, but just know these are not your regular looking tiers, because that's not as fun. The Crazy Joker, or whatever this guy's name is, this guy is the sign of your run dying. If you are holding this Joker and you're on ante 5, you better tell your fucking wife and kids that you really love them, because you're not going to make it. I'm sorry. This guy is unironically the sign that you're going down in flames. He cannot be good. He has to be revolving door tier. Please do not keep him around. I'm begging you. He's better than the straight one. Discard, last pick and dodgeball. He's probably below Ancient Joker. I'd rather have Ancient Joker than the discard, but I would rather not have these. Retrigger on the last hand is also revolving door tier. He's not very good. I don't like to keep him around. He's probably about here. He can do something for you, right? Business card requires face cards, so sometimes you're not playing face cards. Dusk just retriggers whatever it is, so it might be retriggering some lucky cards that can get you some cash, some lucky cards that can get some molt cards. Right, there are things they can do. But on average, I'd rather just have the molt up front. I'd rather have the flush Joker. I don't value the retriggering the last hand that much, because I don't value the last hand that much. If I'm playing the last hand, it means I'm probably playing a high card build and I'm at the end of the run, or I'm about to die. I don't ever want my runs to be winning on the last hand. I want them winning on the first. I want them winning on the second, maybe the third if we're lucky. And if there's 3 hands, then I don't think I should ever be at a 4th one. If I'm at a 4th one, we got to make some changes. So, sorry. He's got to be bad. Sorry, Dusk. The egg? The egg. Let me talk about the egg. This guy is revolving door tier. I hold him and then I sell him. And that's about all that happens with him. He's like probably here. I'd rather hold him than Cloud9, unironically, even though he's probably worth less money most of the time. But like there's the off chance that I'm holding the egg and a swashbuckler shows up or a gift card shows up. And I get to stacking him, bro. And he's going up. Just like the real life egg prices. He's going to the moon, first off. So don't even get that twisted. But second off, again, there's just a chance he's useful. There's an actual chance that this Joker, compared to the ones that are below it in the money tiers, actually has some sort of use and a reason to keep it around. So I like having him, but I just don't really like keeping him around. Erosion? Erosion is really good. You basically get to indiscriminately destroy whatever card you want. It's 4 molt per, which is crazy, by the way. Hangman destroys 2 cards, so 8 molt. You get 2 packs. Red card requires you to buy and skip 2 packs, which means you might spend $8 to $12 to get 6 molt. This is 1 card to get 8 molt. And I know what you're saying, there's always packs. This is true, there is always packs. But they cost money. You don't always have money. I'd rather take my chances, especially on something like Ghost Deck, where an Immolate can pop up. Or even a trading card pops up, you get to keep Erosion. Erosion it's a really solid card. It's really good. It doesn't care what you're playing. It gets that extreme benefit. It does so much. It just allows you to do kind of whatever as long as you're destroying cards, which isn't usually the hardest thing to do. Is it in Void tier? The reason I don't think it can go in Void tier. It probably goes around here. I don't know if it's as good as getting the +3 hands that Burglar's gonna give you, because Burglar is like solidified, locked in, it works, right? Blackboard can have issues. Sometimes you get unlucky, right? Erosion still requires some luck, but when it started, it started. So I like having it. But sometimes you add cards to your deck. So if you get it early, add cards, you might just get rid of it immediately after. So it's good, but I can't really make it any higher than that. I'd love to put it higher. I like the card. It's good. It's worth starting a run on in my mind. Just try your hardest to find a way to destroy cards to get some molt, to get the money back up if you need to, and then whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Keep it going. But I digress. Gold stake specifically? Gold stake specifically, yeah. In general, the issue with in general is like anything. You should win. But how is Campfire so low? I don't like it. I don't ever use it. I know a lot of people like Campfire, but I think every time I ever see Campfire, pretty much, it basically means my run's dead. You basically end up relying on it, or at least I do. I find myself relying on it too much, and then if I get unlucky, then it can be pretty bad. It is a good card, but I don't know. Who is this guy? Hobo? Who are you? That's all I'm saying, bro. What are you talking about? Yabatron 5000? You came to my stream, by the way, buddy. You came to my stream and started typing. You a fan. Even Steven is a 6-man. He's like right there with Abstract Joker, bro. But he's a little bit better. He's Molt in hand. Molt in hand's good. Last pick in Dodgeball, bro. Get this guy out of my face. But I'd rather have Faceless Joker over Ceremonial Dagger. Dude, I don't know, man. Faceless Joker is so ass, bro. He's so fucking bad. Face cards are so good, and getting 3 of them in your hand just off rip to discard is like not the easiest thing. And by the time it is the easiest thing, you're playing them. It's just like not good at all. I'd rather have Ceremonial Dagger. I mean, I'd definitely rather have the discard itself than the face card discard thing, but yeah, I'd probably rather have Ceremonial Dagger. And I hate Ceremonial Dagger a lot. Fib. Probably belongs like here. The white boy is cooking. This is true, this is true. Fib also really good. Molten Hand. It's a lot of Molten Hand, though. Dude, Fib might be in, like, Void tier, actually. Low-key. Fib is really fucking good. It's a lot of Molt, bro. 8 Molt is a lot. Because, spoiler alert, when we get to Onyx, Onyx is probably going in Void tier. Right? So it feels weird for Onyx, which gives 7. I mean, granted, it's 7 to suit versus 8 to number, but it's really good. Fib is really good. It's up there. That's for sure. I'm a certified 4 Fingers hater. I really don't care. It's borderline last pick in Dodgeball for me. I get that the idea... here's the issue with 4 hands, right? Or 4 fingers. I'm going to explain it the way I play the game because I think it'll make sense. I end a lot of runs not worrying too much about the level that comes with my hand because a lot of my power is in the jokers or the cards. I don't focus too much on the hand levels. I give them a bit. If I get a telescope, you know, and I got the money, then of course I'm going to level them. But I don't really like to indiscriminately open planet packs in the hopes that I find something that I need. It's just not the way I play the game. So when I cut a card out of a flush, it does allow me to play a flush, which is a scoring hand with 4 cards in it. But if the hand's not leveled up, I may as well be playing a 2-pair. It allows me to play a straight. I may as well be playing a 2-pair, three of a kind, something like that, which is what my deck is most likely more geared towards playing anyway. So it's like, I get it. It makes playing a flush or a straight easier, which is good if you've leveled those hands up. But I'm not leveling those hands up. So this card, it just ends up making worse flushes. I'd rather play a flush with 5 than 4 cards. There's no reason not to play it if you have it, and that's usually how my runs are built. So it's good. I get that, but not for the way I play the game. It's not very good. It's like, I'd rather have Ancient Joker, I think, than 4 fingers. I just don't need the ability to play a flush or straight with 4 cards in my runs. Pretty much ever. So, flash card, bro. This guy, I thought he was the GOAT. I thought he was the GOAT for a minute. Straight flush builds. I don't think I've ever played a straight flush build, which is really sad, but it's just, I wish I could. I want to be able to do it, but like, dude, oh, I hate playing it because I never get it. I don't ever get it early enough, I think is the issue. But I know it can be cool. It's just, most of the time it's not. What was I going to say? Oh, flashcard. I thought flashcard was the GOAT. I used him one time. He was sick. I loved having him. And then I realized that, like, in gold stake, wow, that's a lot of money, bro. So he can be really good. Now, I don't mind popping into the shop, dropping a reroll for a +2. Maybe, you know, another one depending on the situation I might be in. Because I'm already rerolling anyway. Like I said, I'm keeping myself at about 25 bucks. I'm keeping myself at the interest. And I don't mind spending anything above that pretty much every time I show up. But it's like, he scales kind of slow for $5. Or 3 in a voucher, or 1. And Chaos the Clown's 1 roll, 2 rolls for 5, 4 molt for $5 is like, okay, I'm starting to see it, but it's like that requires Chaos the Clown for the free roll. I'm not skipping to start at 0. That's crazy talk. So I like having him. But I do think is kind of a revolving door. He's like better than Banner, right? I'm more likely to revolving door a Chaos than I am to revolving door a flash card, right? I'll pick up a Chaos and use that roll. I'm not going to pick up the +0 molt Joker roll once and keep the 2 molt for me for a run. He's in there for the molt, and I will scale him and then kill him. I don't care. He is ready to get sacked. There's not even a question in my mind that I'm going to have to kill him at some point usually. Sometimes you get him, but most of the time not. Wow, flower pot. Oh, you're so fucking bad. Dude, 4x molt is so much, but it's so bad. It's like, oh, wow. How are you that bad at the game? How are you this bad? Your own game, man. It's just like, it can so work. It can work in 2 pair, but it requires 4 cards. That's the issue. 4 cards of a different suit. If you're playing 2 pair, it's good. If you're playing a straight, it can work. Full house, it works, right? Like, there's like a bunch of high hands that this works with. But man, a lot of correcting your deck comes to getting cards to be the same. You want a bunch of the same cards so you have way easier chance of drawing them. So keeping 4 different suits active while trying to play one hand constantly kind of gets annoying. You obviously can't play a flush, and I think that's the easiest hand in the game to play. So it's like, it has its time, but I basically never want to use it. I'd rather just build my hand to be more consistent so I can play better hands that'll get me more. Like, a good hand with the ×3 molt is better than whatever you're going to get at a flower pot in the ×4 most of the time. Because you've built a hand that works consistently. And the consistency is what you need. You don't want the RNG to get to you because it can do it at any point. I don't need another reason for it to happen to me. Fortune Teller? I used to think this guy was the GOAT. He's a revolving door tier now. He shows up late in the run. He might be 20, but if it straights well, but others are very hard. Wildcards help a lot, though. I hate wildcards, I'm sorry. I hate wildcards. They're my least favorite thing in the game. I sell the wildcard upgrade almost every time, unless I have a reason to use it, like Fortune Teller. I pretty much always sell it. Yeah. So, I do think Fortune Teller is probably about here. It's like in the same level as Flashcard in my mind. The benefit that Fortune Teller gets, obviously, is if you've used tarot cards, it's already scaled when you find it. So sometimes you get a Vagabond run, and boom, you've got a scaled multiplier ready to go, and you've just been playing the game the whole time. But other times you show up and it's +3 molt and you're like, okay, I don't care. Or you just don't have a lot of tarot cards, even if you get it early. It's iffy, but I pretty much never... It never really gets used anymore. It's like one of those jokers that when the game first came out, I was vibing with it, but now it's just pretty much never it. And in the same tier with that is the gift card. I think it's better than the egg, though. I actually really like gift card. I feel like I like gift card more than most people do. You either like, here's the best part of a gift card. You either get it with jokers you don't want, so you get to sell them up front for cash, or you get them with jokers you do want, and all your temperances are worth way more money. But sometimes it doesn't really do anything. I mean, it's never doing anything for you at any point. It's just a card that's really nice to get early and hold for a while. And then it's even worth a lot of money itself by the time you sell it. So it's kind of like a worse egg when it's a joker by itself, and it's a way better egg when it's a joker with other jokers. So I like having it, but it's basically in the same place as egg because it has the same situation. It's gonna give me money, guaranteed, probably not a lot. It usually goes pretty fast. And if I get a swashbuckler, then we get a lot of molts. So I like it, but it's not that good. So sorry. Glass joker is the last pick in Dodgeball. I basically don't want my glass cards to break. A lot of the times, I mean, he's not down here. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to be down here. He's probably like here. You need a glass card in your deck to find him. You need the glass cards to break to be worth something. You need to find him before they break. The glass cards I usually want anyway. I don't really want them to break. He scales really well, but he's annoying to set up. Most of the time you find him, you're going to have like no glass cards in your deck. Or you're going to have a deck that's so set up it doesn't even matter. Like, he basically never has a time to shine, which kind of sucks because 7.5 molt, 0.75 molt is quite a lot. It is a lot, but oh well, so be it. Revolving door. This guy's like right here. I mean, he's more molt than the flush joker himself. So if you play a club flush, then you're better off. Maybe it should be here. It's not a lot more, but it is more. But it also locks you into a suit. An early game, which is like when you're gonna be having these, you don't want to be locked into a suit most of the time. This does give you the ability to like tailor your run from really early on, but I don't think that is like enough of a reason. You can tailor your run to a suit without a joker by seeing like if the first blind is clubs are disabled, then I can play clubs because I'm not gonna run into clubs are disabled again. So it's like there's other reasons to get some of the benefits out of this, and this is a more widespread joker than this one is. So I like him, but not that much. Gold joker, I'd rather have a business card. It's a little expensive, but you're probably keeping him for a couple of hands. Let it get you some cash. You know, spend your time. Probably even have him over this. Again, Dusk is not a joker I value too high. So it's good to have it at times. It can be really good. But I don't want to play it to the last hand. And gold joker is pretty good, so that's fine. Gold ticket. I mean, it's the same con as glass joker and all those. You need a gold card. And I'll say a lot of runs you probably have a gold card. And it does obviously give you the ability to play it, but it's a revolving door. It's a very, very specific revolving door type card. It can be really good, but it's so likely to get sold. It's over Cloud 9 for me, but it's under Egg. Again, Egg has a use for score. Gold card doesn't. It's just you need a gold card and then you need to find it. It takes a while to get it. By that point, you're playing a hand that's already good anyway, so who even cares? This Diamond Joker guy is worse than the Club Joker because diamonds are worse than clubs. But they're in the same spot because they do the same thing. They're not. None of the suits in my mind are worse enough to determine to make one of these jokers go down away from the cards that they're with. In my mind, they're all going to be in the same spot. I pretty much never build around diamonds. The universe, like the uncommon diamond joker, is not that good. But I mean, I'll play around whatever I get. You know, it's just pretty much never diamonds. Hearts is higher, no? Oh yeah, hearts is higher. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Hearts molt in hand. Ooh, hearts molt in hand plus bloodstone, but it requires bloodstone. I can get Molten Hand other ways than Hearts. But I am always going to play Hearts of Bloodstone. And we'll come to it when we get there. It might go a little higher. Green Joker? The issue with the green... Here's the thing with the Green Joker. High cards are really good. Green Joker is really good. But, man. Oh, fucking man. His Green Joker can't be 6-man. You never sell him when you get him. I just don't want to put him in Void tier, but, like, I have to put him in Void tier. It's where he belongs. He has to be here. You will never take a Green Joker and sell him. Almost never purposely. Like, if you buy Green Joker, you're pretty much guaranteed to be playing him for the rest of the run. It's basically how the run goes. You might get given a Green Joker. He is boring. I agree. But he's good. That's the issue. Like, I don't want to put him in here because I know he's boring. High cards are boring. But he is so good at getting you to high antes, which gives you the chance to win. So, like, he needs to be here. He can't be top tier, even though he's kind of close to it. But, like, sometimes you get him early, and other things can pop up that can make you change your mind. That's, like, the one thing I'll say. If I see, like, if you look at the Jokers in Pack 1, pick one. If they pop up, I'm not changing my mind for anything. Right? That's, like, the one benefit Blueprint gets. I can change my mind to anything. I guess it's kind of the same with the Cavendish. Kaneo is, like, a little iffy, because you can change your mind to what you play, but the con you need to do is the same. And obviously, you know, Green Joker, Burglar together, they're good. The more you play, the better. It kind of owns you on money, but it gives you a really good chance to win the run in my mind. So, he's got to be up here. If I saw both of these together, though, is the Bull better? Probably not. Am I more likely to buy it, though? I think so. I like playing with the Bull more than the Green Joker. So it's like, does he probably deserve to be above it? I don't know, man. Bull is really good. He's really good. I'm starting to, like, I think I'm starting to trick myself into thinking he's not, but he is. It's really easy to get a lot of money and get a lot of chips and give you a lot of freedom of what you actually decide to play. And this is also true with Green Joker, but you can't discard. So you do kind of get locked into playing what you draw, which can be pretty bad. So I like him, but he can't go above the Bull in my mind. Sorry. Banana is probably, like, here. He is so good for what he does. Buy him early. You keep him around. He dies. Boom. He gets rid of himself. He is, like, the definition of a 6-man. Sometimes I will sell him. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'll sell him if there's good enough Jokers that I don't have to worry about finding Cavendish later. But he is going to self-destruct at some point, and if he doesn't, then you're probably winning the run anyway if you still have him in your deck. Like, you're either gonna sell him at some point, or you're just gonna keep him around in hopes he gets destroyed because you know you're gonna win anyway. So, like, he's really good. I'd rather have it than Erosion or, like, any other Jokers below it early, because it's just straight up 15 molt. But he's gonna get rid of himself. He can't go any higher than 6-man because he will blow himself up. Hack. It's really good. It's a really good card. It's good with Wii Joker. It's good with Fib. It's good with Lucky cards. It's good with Glass cards. It's good with anything that's worth playing at all, pretty much. It's really good. Your one negative to Hack is your lack of chips. You need to find a way to make chips. But if you're playing Hack with some gold seals, you're playing Hack with some lucky cards, you're playing Hack with something like that, you got like a bowl, I mean, if you got Wii Joker, you've got chips, right? Hack is good. He's more than a 6-man because he's a build around. He's the build, right? He's really good. He can do a lot. Is he good enough to stay there? Like, is he not a sixth man? Is he really not a sixth man? Am I really not pretty much ever? It's like, oh, he's so good, but man, he's so bad sometimes. The issue is, face cards are good. I'm default building to face cards. But if I get this guy early enough, then I am building around low cards. I think he's kind of where he belongs right now. I can wait longer to get the bull and still be happy than I can wait longer to get the hack and still be happy, I think. If I find bull on, you know, somewhere in ante 2 or 3, and I've got a little bit of money, I might keep him around. If I see the hack in 2 or 3, it might already be too late. Fib is good enough, you know. Fib a card you can always have. If you're playing flushes, probably. You're playing maybe a full house. You could slot some fib cards in. But if I'm playing, I'm not worrying about the hack on some of these runs. So I'll keep him in the void tier. You love to have this guy, but you know, sometimes it's just not the right time. You can't go that much higher. Half Joker is a sixth man for sure. He's probably here. He's easier to work with than Erosion. More mult than Banana, but harder to work with than the Banana is. 3 cards limits you to not a lot of chips. So it's like, you kind of need him. But early on, he's good. He just falls off later. You don't really need him. If he self-destructed like the Banana would, I would be completely fine with that. But he deserves to be like right there. And this is an revolving door. It's basically a last pick in Dodgeball for me, if anything, honestly. It's probably where it belongs. I just, like, don't like him. Ever. Pretty much. If I get him, I'm gonna hold him to open packs, but the instant I open the packs, he's probably gone. I'll sell him to use a Justice card. I don't care, bro. Like, he's gone. Is he better than Glass Joker? I mean, I'm more happy to see him than Glass Joker. I'm less happy to see him in the Lady Gratisfaction, though. That's for sure. Hanging Chads? Hanging Chads, dude. Wow. What a card. He is insane. But I don't know if he can be a pack 1, pick 1. Because under the right circumstances, he is the GOAT. But sometimes I have him and I'm like, yeah, I just don't need him this run. And then he goes. But I rarely ever say that about pack 1, pick 1s. I mean, even like if Brainstorm's not a pack 1, pick 1, then Hanging Chads can't be. It's not possible. But it can be really high. Hanging Chads over Chikout, though? It's just like Hanging Chads is good because of what else it has. The actual like idea of playing a card twice is like, it's, oh, I don't know, man. It's such a hard one to place. It's so dependent. But I always like having him. He's never going to be 6th man. He's basically always going to be at least the 5th or 4th. So it's like, where does he belong? Scout. If Chikout was a Joker I could buy, it's unlikely I would sell Hanging Chads for Chikout. But if I had Chikout and I wanted to get Hanging Chads, I think I'd be more likely to sell him. This is a hard one, but I think he's going to stay there, man. I think he just might. Throw a lucky card in there. Throw a photograph on that bitch. Chips. It's so good. It's so good. Hiker? He's a 6th man. He's a 6th man. Where does he lie in 6th man? Six man Hiker is how I feel about Campfire. When I see him, I like to have him, but it requires me to get the cards that I need to continue to scale them, which isn't too bad. It usually means I lock myself into something pretty fast, which is good, because the faster you lock yourself in, the easier it is to buckle down and get what you want, and it's easier to know what you're going to do. And once you know what you're going to do, you're in an easier spot, I think. But, like, I don't really want to have him that long. I don't mind throwing him in at the start to build some chips up on a card. Or if I get, like, something like, you know, Hanging Chads early, or, like, one of these cards is going to re-trigger, like, Hack or Sock and Buskin, then I'm happy to have him. So let's keep using cards. But I don't want to keep him that long, man. He just doesn't need to be around. He's not doing much for me. It's a lot to think about. It can make some variants pretty bad. It can make you think you're doing a lot better than you are. So I'm not thinking about him too much. Okay, we got... How far are we in, bro? I wish I knew. I don't know how long these rows are. I think they're 16? No. 18 long? God, we're not even close. Hit the Road Jack is like a revolving door. Maybe even a last pick. I liked him, but dude, he just never, he lets me down. I'm sorry. Hologram is a pack one, pick one. He is a card so good that you don't have to think about what you're playing. You can do whatever you want to your deck. Just keep adding cards and you're going to win. And I like having him. He's better than Cavendish in my mind. Sometimes it can be difficult to scale him, but he's pretty much always going to get higher than Cavendish. There's no chance he gets destroyed. It's basically impossible for any of the boss blinds to counter him because you get to play whatever you want. You get to have whatever you want. He's even easier than Canio, I think, personally, to get going. He's probably not better than Blueprint, though, because Blueprint can basically be whatever you want. It could even be Hologram. So, it's like, should he be above Blueprint? In my mind, maybe. But, Ice Cream, you are probably, you're somewhere in a 6-man. Again, you get destroyed. No, you're Revolving Door. You're Revolving Door. Done about 67. Oh, there's 150 Jokers in the game. That's a lot of Jokers. Ice Cream is above a lot of these multipliers. I'd definitely rather have him than Banner. He's where he belongs. He's gonna, again, he's in for now. He's out for later because you don't get to keep him anyway. Invisible Joker is like so good. It can be anything. It's the same thing as Blueprint. It can be anything you want it to be. Asterisk if you get lucky. Sometimes you get him in a spot where you can make sure he's something you want it to be. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't even afford to take him because you might die. I know he should be top tier, but he can't be. He takes too long to work. I can't put him in there, man. Technically, Invisible Joker should be Revolving Door. You literally take him to get rid of him. That is exactly what the definition of Revolving Door is. He's a Joker you're going to take to get rid of. He is as good as what you have, which is exactly the issue with Blueprint. The issue is you can't control what this guy is, and he doesn't do anything while you have him. Blueprint is boom, boom, boom. He works. You pick him up. Boom. He works. That's it. That's all you need to know. I know he should be high tier. I know he should be. But sometimes when you're playing Gold Stake, you have an Eternal Joker that you can't get rid of and you don't want to duplicate. Baron and DNA in 3rd tier, really? They're not good enough to win the run on their own. They can be if you get him in the right spot. But if I get a Baron on ante 1, oh, I'm sorry. If I get a Baron on ante 1, I'm sorry. He's not that good. DNA? That's a hand early. You need everything you got. Oh, this is for gold stake? Yeah. It's for gold stake. I guess I probably should have put that there, but so be it. Invisible Joker, he's revolving door, man. He's in and out. He should be good. Oh, he's like, okay. He's like the one guy that fucks everything I set up. He should be higher. I know people like him. I know they do. But I can't pick what I get from him. And sometimes I need my jokers, man. So I can't keep him. He doesn't do anything on his own. Yeah, I mean, I know DNA and Baron are really good for a long term. It's the same thing with Mime. Like, Mime's not going to be that high either. But, like, yeah, and Gold Stake. I mean, I've won with Baron, and I've won with DNA. And I don't even just mean, like, to get the seal. I mean, like, literally using them primarily to get a win going across the line. Like, I've done both, but, like, most of the time I find Baron, I'm dying on Gold Stake. It's just the unfortunate truth of it all. Joker is, you listen, bro, you couldn't be more of a revolving door if you tried. You're better than the monies, is in my mind. You're probably, like, here. In the long term, I don't even know if he is there. Bro, he is revolving door. It's like exactly what he's made for. He's made to show up, give you 4 molt for however long, not long, and then leave. But the money don't keep me alive in the hand. The molt does. So I kind of feel like it deserves to be a little higher. Stencil Joker's a tough one too. Because you can build around Stencil Joker. If I'm playing a Spectral deck, and I'm seeing a Stencil Joker that's Eternal, I'm to the moon. Slap a Polychrome on, bro. Give me some Joker copying things. Get me some more Stencil Jokers. But unfortunately, in the average case, he's just a really, really good revolving door Joker. Take him early. You don't have to spend too much money. You're winning in one hand, probably. He's going to get you cash. Keep him around for a bit. And then send him out. Because there's better ways to get molt than to not have jokers. So I like having him. But he can't be a 6th man. Because if you have him with other jokers, he doesn't do anything. He's got to be revolving door. He's not good enough on most decks. I mean, if you get an Eternal one on any deck, you might get lucky enough to duplicate him. But one Stencil Joker by itself versus 2 Stencil Jokers are 2 entirely different things. And most of the time, you're getting one. So, sucks to suck, I guess. This is the 2 pair. This is the, or not the 2 pair. This is the 1 pair molt guy. Yeah, I mean, like, he's 8 molt for a pair, right? Like, that's crazy. 8 molt for a pair is a lot. When you think about the fact that, listen, I know Flush is 5 cards, so you get 10 molt. You also get the chips that come with it. That's the difference. But a pair is really easy to play with the card sharp, with the anything, at all times. It's really good. Is it Jolly Joker's Burr? Dude, I think it's like, it might be better than the Flush Joker, man. Because even if you're playing a Flush, if you've done some deck correction, you're getting a pair in the Flush most of the time. Because you want to play what you're playing. So it's like an easier hand to play for about the same molt. You'll get less chips because of the hand, but you have less requirements, so you could have an easier time getting some Joker that gives you chips to make things happen, bro. Like, a Castle's going to be better with the pair Joker than it is going to be with the Flush Joker most of the time. So, it's not as good as, it's still like play hand to get small amount of molt, right? But a pair is so unbelievably forgivable that that's fine. This is +1 hand, right? Not high. I can't see my mouse. Where's bro at? Where's my juggler guy? Surely I've passed him. Surely not this deep. No way. He's probably on the same page as the discard guy. Oh, I've missed him again. Where the fuck, bro? Where is this guy in collections? Oh, there he is. Yeah, +1 hand size. Yeah, +1 hand size. Dude, hand size is good. Can I just say that? Unironically, bro, he's like the very bottom. This might be a hot take. I think he's like the bottom of 6th man. Because I realized this isn't going to be a good reason, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because 1 hand size is really good. I mean, Troubadour is +2 hand size and -1 hand. That's how good +2 hand size is. So +1 hand size is pretty good, in my mind. That's not even the reason I was going to say. But +1 hand size plus make a Joker negative and -1 hand size on the juggler means you never see the juggler in your shop again unless you have showman. So you could technically take 1 Joker out of the pool at all times for the cost of you just can't make another Joker negative unless you want to get -2 hand size. He's good to have. I'll keep him as a 6 man over a lot of the Jokers below this because 1 hand size makes playing my hand a lot easier to do than a lot of the Jokers below him. They do good things when you play the hand, but he makes playing the hand easier. And if you're already getting a hand that's good, don't have to worry about the things below it as much. So he's a 6th man to me. He's at the very bottom. I could put him in revolving door because realistically, I'm pretty willing to sell bro. If anything, I might have talked myself into it, bro. I might have just talked myself into it because realistically, he doesn't deserve to belong in the 6th man. It's just like there's almost no reason not to have him there sometimes. But I'm thinking too much of Spectral Deck. In most cases, he's not good. I'm sorry. I was talking crazy, bro. It's my fault. He probably belongs like here. I'd rather have the hand size than the money. I've just talked myself out of it. Yeah, your last pick in Dodgeball, you are like here. Easier to play than Flower Pot because is he easier to play though? You literally can't play him in some cases. Isn't he also like 4x? Nah, Flower Pot's better. I was almost talking crazy. Flower Pot's better. It is. It just is. It has to be. In most cases, you cannot play enough hands in a given blind to make up for the fact that it requires like 6 hands to play to get you your molt. I want my molt now. I want it always. So, sorry. Luchador is my goat. He is the last Joker I had to get the gold seal on. And in the course of me trying to get gold seal on him, I sold him like 3 times to keep my run alive. Just in hopes that I'd find him again. And every time I sold him to keep my run alive, I won the run. He did like the one thing I needed him to every time I had to sell him when I never wanted to. He kind of proved him to me that he's really fucking good. I never valued him before. I had to use him. I was literally forced to figure out his value. And having the ability to disable a boss blind at any point when you need to is so good because in some cases, there's like one boss blind that'll counter what you've built. So if you just have the guy that counters the boss blind, that counters what you do, spoiler alert, you just win. So he's not like, dude, he's a better revolving Joker than Invisible, I think. I can't pick what Invisible gives me. If it gives me something that costs me money and it's not good enough, then I'm getting $1 out of it. Plus whatever the sell value is of Invisible Joker, which is probably like $4 or something. I don't know. I don't think about selling him that much for the money. And if it gets me an Eternal Joker, it locks me in place. If I get Luchador, I'm happy to sell him to get rid of a boss blind at any point. And if I don't run into a boss blind that requires me to sell him, no harm, no foul. He's not going to do anything to me anyway. So I really like him. It's probably some recency bias, but I had to use him recently, and he proved himself pretty well. Lucky Cat. Oh, it's up here. It's really good with or without Oops All Sixes. It's crazy with Oops All Sixes. I will take Lucky Cat pretty much anytime I see him. He's probably gonna scale faster than whatever you have pretty soon. Selling a 3x molt to get a Lucky Cat. Luchador was really the last sticker. I'm doing it right now, and I assumed one of the legendaries would be my last sticker since I only have Yorick with gold sticker. I'm currently at 110. I had 4 out of the 5 gold stickers on legendary jokers by the time I finished all my gold stakes. So I was done with them very fast. I think one of the first gold stake jokers I got after actually having finished all gold stakes was my last legendary joker, which I think was Perkio. But yeah, Luchador is a card I basically never took, so I never won with it. But yeah, I think when I finished my blue stake gold seal, or my blue deck gold stake run, I had 3 legendaries on me. So when I finished like my 6th deck, I already had 3 done. Yeah, so I was very far ahead of that. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it was a good time. But yeah, Luchador up there. I think that was the last one I just touched. I don't remember. Oh, Lucky Cat. Oh yeah, that guy's good. He's really good. Is he better than Card Sharp? Unironically, bro. He feels the same thing to Canio as me, man. He scales. I can't put him over Cavendish, but I can't put him over Card Sharp. Cavendish is 3x always. He's on a joker you pretty much always want to take. Lucky Cat's good because it's lucky cards, but I could imagine a person not wanting to use them so much. I love lucky cards. I'll slap that bitch on everything. I'll make the whole deck lucky cards and play them always. Especially, I got a Hanging Chads. I'm playing high card, lucky card, and the chance that this 1 in 15 hits for the cash to hit. I don't care. I'm playing lucky cards always. This guy is always on my radar. I'm always picking him up. This motherfucker's at like 8x most of the times I see him. He very rarely lets me down. So I gotta keep him in pack 1, pick 1, because I will pack 1, pick 1. I would probably do it over Cavendish, but at the same time, Cavendish is a better joker. I could put my personal thoughts aside and say that I think Cavendish is probably going to treat you better in most runs than a Lucky Cat is. So, bleh. This is the... Okay, now we're at the scenario we talked about earlier, which is the Heart Joker. It is still a revolving door tier for me. Don't get me wrong. I think it's still revolving door tier. I get that with Bloodstone, it's good because it's hearts. But so is Fib, so is Smiley Face, so is even Steven. And these are all cards I'd rather have than the suit ones because I don't have to play suits. And even inside of that, they give me more molt than the hearts. The hearts giving me 15 at best if I'm playing a 5-card flush and there's no four fingers involved. Fib, 2 cards. Boom, we've cleared it. 16 molt. Even Steven, a little bit harder. 4 cards, cleared. I'm playing with the Ballot, the Hanging Chads, 1 lucky card proc hits. Boom, 20 molt, or to the moon. That one's less reliable, but... So it's still good. But even knowing I have Bloodstone, I can still see myself selling it plenty of times. So it's still a revolving door tier for me. Unfortunately. This is 2-pair Joker. This is the molt one, I believe. It's 10 molt. Stencil is better. I can see myself more likely to finish a run with the Heart Joker than I can with Stencil Joker is my issue. At least the Heart Joker has a use with other Jokers around. Stencil really doesn't. It's kind of in a spot that I think, like, it can be good. But I just can't... I can't reasonably expect to finish the run with Stencil Joker in my mind. I tried for a really long time when trying to get Gold Stake on Stencil Joker to do a Stencil Joker run. And there were a few times where I got him and just nothing else comes around to help him. And you die out pretty quickly. So I respect him, and I respect that opinion too, and I could see it. I think I could probably be convinced. But for now, when I look at the fact that there's more Jokers, I gotta keep the Heart guy above, unfortunately. He's just too better than what the Senso Joker is gonna do in most cases for me. 2-pair plus 10 mult. It's definitely better than the flush guy. Is it better than the 1-pair? Probably not. It's probably better than flush, but worse than 1-pair. It's the same mult, but it's less cards. It's easier hand to set up, but you're playing less cards, like I said, so less chips. But 2-pair's not bad, so I like having it. It's not bad. They're basically the same in my mind, honestly. I could be convinced either way. I'll do this. I think I'm more likely to want a plus 10 mult with a flush. If I'm specifically playing 2-pair, I'm probably using the pants. Or I'm playing like full house, which scales enough. More cards played. I don't need the 10 mult as much, so it probably should be the flush Joker. Madness? Again, this is gold stake. So Madness is good. Sometimes you don't find Eternals. Sometimes you don't find Eternals. It can't work with legendaries. I don't think they ever spawn an Eternal in any way. I don't think it's even possible. It's really good. But it should be pack 1 pick 1. If I saw it, I would take it. But you'd be surprised the amount of times I saw Madness and said, can't take it now. Because yeah, that's the thing. If I get early Madness, I expect to win the run. But if I even get Madness slightly late, I don't really expect to win the run. That's the issue I have with him. If I get any of the Jokers in the top tier in the first four rounds, I'm pretty much expecting to win or have a really good chance of winning. If I find this guy on 3 or 4, I'm feeling a little iffy, especially if my Jokers aren't Eternal. Then sometimes you just can't afford to have him around. He's scaling too slow. If I get him at the start, the very start of the run, is he the GOAT? He's up there. He's up there. He really is up there. I want to put him in pick 1 or pack 1, pick 1. But over something like Cavendish, which is just 3x, good early card sharp, I can't make myself put him up there. There are so many times I saw him and I said, now's not the time. If you ever see him first, he's a take. But it's so easy for the way I play the game and the way that I play in my mind to go, now is not the time. And you can get unlucky with Eternal Jokers and just not see anything. And that kind of owns you. So I can't put him up there because I have not had enough experiences with him. I had to get him gold stake. I didn't even win a gold stake run when I was getting all my decks gold to get him gold stake. I had to go out of my way to do it. That's how little of him I've ever gotten to use. So I just can't. He was pretty close. He was like the middle half of my final push of a grind. He was probably within the last 40 to 30 Jokers I had to do, which is crazy. He shouldn't be, but I just never found that chance to really make those runs work. So I can't put him up there. Alien Rebate. Alien Rebate's pretty good. I think I still value the egg more than most of the money Jokers, though. I just can't convince myself to want to use it that much. I usually like what I got going on. I'm gonna discard for the hands I want to play. Stone Joker is last pick in Dodgeball for me. I don't like him at all. Well, this is Marble Joker. Stone Joker's the other one. But every time I took him early, my runs lost. I never found him with hologram while going for gold stakes. I've used him with hologram on like white stakes, playing like just to fuck around, but he basically never does anything for me. Ancient Joker probably belongs here over Glass Joker. And Marble Joker probably... Isn't Cloud9 basically Golden Joker in 90% of the cases? I'm so confused. The issue with Cloud9 is it's uncommon. So I'm pretty sure, doesn't it cost more than Gold Joker to buy? It also requires you to keep 9s around. And if I'm clearing my deck out, I'm usually starting from the middle and going up or down, because that still leaves me the ability to play straights around aces. So it's like, I'll get rid of a 9. One more, 7 instead of 6, I think. Yeah. It's just like 9s are a card I'm still willing to strength to 10s in hopes of a 10-4, or in hopes that I get to strength them again to a face card, or a card I'm willing to destroy because I can't get an 8 for Fib or an 8 for Magic 8 Ball. It's just like 9s don't have anything else, so they're a card that I want to get rid of for me. They're a card that I really want to get rid of. Same thing with like 7s and 6s. 7, 6, and 9 are all cards I'm willing to destroy pretty much at any time and just be like, they're gone. Even 8s, I'm kind of like iffy on. They got Fib going for them. They're the second highest card you get to play with Fib, so I kind of like having them. But like 9s, I can't keep them. Like, granted, you probably get options to destroy other things than 9s, but I also like to destroy 9s. So if there was more going for 9s, I'd be down to put this guy higher up. But I usually sell him for a different Econ Joker, knowing that 9s are never going to get played because they just don't have anything else going for him. Oh, was I talking about Marble Joker? Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not at the bottom, so I'm glad I didn't forget. I mean, if I'm playing flushes, these are useless. Unless you have 4 fingers, which I don't ever have. I don't like stone cards that much. They're good. I don't really like them, though. So the question is, where would I put him? Because I don't like taking him. At all. Pretty much ever. He's cool with Vampire, I guess, but he scales way too slow with Vampire. 1's not enough. I'd rather have something else to do that. I wouldn't rather have him than the discard on average. Hologram value, though? You're right, it is hologram value. But that's the thing. It's like, for me, Marble Joker is only hologram value. Or Stone Joker value. But I didn't ever win with Stone Joker or Marble Joker with hologram. They were... Well, actually, I think I did win Marble Joker, or the Stone Joker with hologram. But that wasn't related. I just found him at the end of the run and took him across the finish line. Marble Joker is good hologram value, but Certificate of Authenticity gives you seals, which are really hard to get. And Stone Joker gives you stone cards, or Marble Joker gives you stone cards, which are kind of easy to get and pretty bad for the flushes I'm usually playing. Would I rather have him over the knife? I honestly think so. Would I rather have him over one discard? I honestly don't think I would. I don't really like using him pretty much ever. Speaking of last pick in Dodgeball, Matador just doesn't work on some things. I don't know enough about him. I don't like using him. I hate him. He's just worthless in my mind. This discard guy, also at last pick, I hate having him. I'd probably rather have him than the knife. -1 hand size? Yikes. You're like a good revolving door. You're probably here. I like playing this one more. I know I'm rapid firing these out right now. I don't even know time to think, but I know what I think about a lot of these jokers. I like having the gold cards. They're cool. Works well with Vampire. I don't even think Vampire's that good though, so that's not much of a benefit for me. They can give me money, but I like playing face cards. So, a lot of the time, This doesn't do anything unless I get it early, in which case I'll play as many face cards as I can, and then I sell it for something else. So it kind of goes. Mime probably belongs around Baron tier. Probably here. Baron is like, kings just work as steel cards. That's good. This requires steel card. No, Mime is better than Baron. Because Mime works on everything that is in that you hold. This works on Shoot the Moon. This works on Close Fist. It works on Baron. It's gold cards, it's seal cards, it's blue seals. I was smoking crack. This guy's probably way better than I'm giving him credit for. I'd probably rather have him than Campfire. I don't know if I'd rather have him than Hiker, though. Because it still requires you to get something to play with him. And I don't know that that happens too often for me, personally. The amount of times that I usually... Blue seals are really good, and I'm aware of this. The amount of times that I actually choose to take them over something else in the Spectral pack is kind of low. I'd rather take the red seal and put it on a lucky card, even though a blue seal is probably more likely to win me the run. But I like lucky cards a lot. So, unfortunately, mine doesn't get that much value for me. But it's good. It's a good card. I'd be wrong to say it's bad, I think. It's like pretty undeniably a good card. It works with a lot of things. I'll keep him around. Misprint is a revolving door. Probably. If he was consistent in multi, I'd like him more. But he's not. Sometimes he's +0. But most of the time, I mean, we're between 0 and 21. You're averaging a 10 molt. But sometimes he owns you. I've had runs where it's +0, +2, +1. And then you die. Because you didn't get any molt. He's better than Chaos, though. He's not worse than a free reroll. That's not possible. I'd rather Stencil Joker earlier. I'd rather the Heart. Yeah, he's cool. He could probably be in 6th man, though. I think he's a worse abstract Joker. Because most of the time he's good. If you get unlucky, he's bad. But that's true for a good amount of Jokers. That's also true for Bloodstone. If Bloodstone never worked, it'd be shit. If Hologram never, or if Misprint never worked, he'd be shit. I mean, you could also do the thing where you see the next card on your deck. That's pretty cool. I've never done it. And I probably never will. But it's there. So I have to give him his props. He's pretty bad sometimes, but most of the time he's pretty good. So it'd feel disingenuous to not keep him around. Mr. Bones is probably the definition of a 6th man again. By just peeking in the collections. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, I've never done it, so. But even then, he's still like a worse abstract Joker to me, basically. On average, he'll do about 10. Which is not bad, and it's for anything you play. Mr. Bones is probably the best Joker in the game that doesn't do anything. I love this guy. This guy is so good to hold. You keep him around in case you die. And if you don't, you get to sell him. And if you know you can get enough score to meet the requirement for him to win, you just get to skip to the end of the run and then play the hand that wins the boss blind. Wins in quotes. And then he just dies and you win the run. I love this guy. Now, I will sell him for a better Joker when it comes up. But he can just win the run. He's good. He's so good. He's like how I got some of my earliest victories and some of my like latest gold seals. You take him, smack that bitch in your Jokers, and then die, and then GG. I love him. He's good. Mystic Summit is in the same tier as the abstracts and the misprints. It does require you to discard all your cards, but it is 15 volt. But sometimes He probably should be above misprint. Most of the time, you are going to discard all your cards. That's like the benefit. Most of the time, you will use all your discards. But sometimes, you don't want to for reasons. So he can't be as good as Abstract Joker. Because sometimes it's like, I'm going to play a flush. I discard my first hand, and then I draw the flush, and then you just want me to waste another discard when I have the flush here? I'd rather have misprint. There's just some times where I want to play the hand immediately. I just want to get out. Obelisk is really low. Really, really low. He is in last pick Dodgeball tier. I really don't like him, but I can't deny that I used him not that long ago to get me like 3.6x mult at the end of a run to help me cross the finish line. He has his uses. He's just not good. I get it. I know how it's supposed to work. But I don't want to use him pretty much ever. And in most cases, he's really bad. He's a rare joker that I don't want. He might... Dude. He might go to the bottom, man. He can't go now. No. Because the cards below him are cards I... Okay. I know people love Obelisk. Some do, at least. A lot of people hate Obelisk. I am more likely to discard the 3 face cards and get my money from that than I am to use Obelisk properly at pretty much any point. I'm pretty much never going to use Credit Card. I never want to use Matador. So, basically based on the fact that I have used Obelisk effectively at least one time, yeah. I had double Obelisk, both got a 9.4. He is crazy, but most of the time he's unusable. Yeah. The issue is, if you get him early enough, you get the ability to high card stack, and then just play like a pair, or 2 pair, or a flush. But if you ever draw into a point where you must play high card, he's wiped out. If you don't know about Obelisk and you play flushes, he's wiped out because you're playing a high value hand that's winning fast. That means that you're going to overtake it very fast. So unless you have a really, really diverse setup, it's really hard for Obelisk to ever work. I don't like him. Odd Todd is a 6th man. He is, in my opinion, better than even Steven. Because I like getting chips more than I like getting molt from my cards. I much prefer the molt that comes somewhere else. Chips from cards is like really good. There's a lot of good cards that give you chips from other cards. Like the Spades one. The Arrowhead. What's next? We got Onyx Agate. Again. Probably belongs more like this. Because here's the thing. It's probably this. The Club Joker is good. He's really good. But I like 50 chips more. It's easier to find a way to supplement molt from cards than it is to supplement chips from cards. So, in most cases, I think I'd rather have the chips. A lucky card hits, that's basically 3 clubs with the Onyx thing. You know, throw a couple of molt cards in there. You know, you're feeling pretty good. A holographic card, 10 molt, boom. That's good. That's pretty good. There's a lot of ways to get molt a face card, a smiley face card, even. A lot of ways to get it done. So it is really good, and I like using it. It's easier to use than Fib, in my opinion. So it's up here, but gotta be below the chips. And then the molt in hand is really good. Oops All Sixes is a 6-man. He's a really good 6-man, though. I'd rather have him in a lot of cases, then probably just burglar. It's the he could go above DNA. I can make a lot of lucky cards. You know what? Yeah, I am more likely to get use out of the oops all sixes than I am to get use out of the DNA, because I can make a lot of lucky cards myself in most cases. And oops all sixes hits more than lucky cards. It hits hearts for the bloodstone. It makes the banana break faster. I mean, it also makes the Cavendish break faster, but it's never broken for me, so I don't know what to tell you. It does a lot. It does good and bad. But in most cases, he's doing more good than he is bad for me, personally. The way that I tend to use him. So, I like having him. This is a revolving door. It's honestly pretty close to last pick in Dodgeball. It basically doesn't do anything for you unless you have other jokers that do something for it, which is rich to say when it's oops all sixes. But oops all sixes gives me a lot more than all face cards. So it probably belongs here. It probably is at the very bottom of revolving door. It is a card that I can pick up and use and then get rid of later. But most of the time, it's just not going to do what I need it to do. It's going to be something I have and then get rid of. And then it'll probably have caused no change in my run, period. So, God, there's so many jokers, bro. We're 2 hours in. God damn. Perkio. Perkio, man. A joker that's so good that I've lost with 1,000 times because if you don't get lucky in the shop, doesn't do anything for you. He belongs with Checkout, I think. Because sometimes he's really good and sometimes he does nothing. When he's really good, he is insane. He is how I got my highest money run. He is how I got a bunch of runs across the line. Or not a bunch, but a couple runs across the line. He can do a lot for you. But I can't put him in pack one, pick one, knowing that a lot of the times I get him, I just don't get a consumable to duplicate with him. And then I die because I don't have anything going. My highest money is stats. $2,036. It used to be $1,080, and then it went to $2,036 because I would duplicate Temperance with Brainstorm and Perkio, and they were all worth $50. And then eventually I got Blueprint as well, so I was getting like $150 a shop. And I used that with like the money jokers to just win the run. The other one I used to have was with Business Card, Oops All Sixes, Sock and Buskin, I think. That got me to 1080. But this one was with Perkio and Temperance. Photograph. He's up there with Ballot. I mean, 2.6k with no endless. It wasn't. No, it's not. It's 2036, but it isn't with no endless. But a lot of it is without endless. I had a lot of money before the endless hit. I don't know if I can find it. Maybe I can. When I beat Ante 9, I had 10. Or when I beat Ante, not Ante 9. When I beat the boss blind and won the run, I had $1,086. I don't know how long it actually took me after that to get everything, but no, it was just over $1,000 because it took me a little while. I don't think I had the blueprint when I finished the run. I think I just had the brainstorm. This was also the run that I used Obelisk on. So it was like 1,086, I think is what I said. But yeah, he's good. Not good enough. Revolving door. Better than ice cream, but about the same spot. I'll pretty much always buy a Chaos the Clown to get the free reroll, but I don't need to buy popcorn for it. It's money. Highest is 6k. Yeah, I wish my run could have gone on more. Or I actually lost my temperance at one point, which is why I stopped making as much money. I did get a temperance back because I accidentally fucked up and lost it. I would have had way more money. But I fucked up, so oh well. Caught. But yeah, popcorn, and yeah, that's about where it belongs. And speaking of revolving door, you are at worst this guy, and at best, I don't know, pretty good. I like it. It belongs probably here. I like it more than playing a straight, but I didn't like it as much as playing a suit. Pretty much how it goes. Ramen is also a revolving door, but a very high up one. It probably belongs here. It's very good. It's 2x flat. Multiplier. If you're playing high card, you probably just keep it at 2x the whole run. But a lot of times you're just carding. It's going in and out. It probably deserves more than that. It probably deserves to be over this, because I'm going to use it more. But at the same time, I don't know. It could be in 6th man, though. It really could be. I'll try to keep it as long as possible, really. Does it deserve more than hearts, though? I think so. It's like the top revolving door. You're not going to see a lot of multipliers in revolving door. It just doesn't happen. It never happens. It's too uncommon, which is what the Joker is. It's an uncommon. Whoa. Whoa. Speaking of uncommon, me caring about red card. This card, they told me it was good. I used it in a run. I got gold stake with it very fast. I thought this card's pretty good. Maybe they were right. Well, I didn't say it was pretty good, but it's better than I thought it was. And then every time I have tried to use it, since getting the gold stake with it, this card has been terrible. It's so bad. It is not revolving door, but it is last pick in Dodgeball, but like the top. It has its uses. I fully understand that it's probably, on average, better than a fortune teller if you get it early enough. It's probably better than a flash card if you get it early enough. But a lot of the time, much like Constellation, it just requires too much money to use effectively at any point. It can be good. It is a scaling flat mult card, which means it has the ability. But I think in most runs, I want the reward from the card pack. Unless it is literally a card pack. Most of the time, I don't care about those. But if I'm opening a planet pack and I see the card I want, if I'm opening a tarot card pack and I see lucky cards, I see a death card, anything that gives me money, even a Wheel of Fortune, I might pop them first before I skip. So, yeah, I don't like it that much. Same thing with reserved parking. Wow, this card sucks. 1 and 2 to get $1 on face cards you hold. It is not good. It's never good. It is the bottom of revolving door in my mind. It's so close to a last pick in Dodgeball, but I have used it every so often to try and get myself a little bit of more money. I give it that. I'm more likely to use it in a run than I am red card. If I see red card even early, a lot of the times I'm skipping. If I see reserve parking pretty early, I mean, granted, it's gold stake. I'm probably resetting to just get a better run. But if I'm not going to reset, I will take it and try to use it, at the very least. Ride the bus. This guy is the same place as gold. It's the same thing. But you can't use face cards. But you can discard. So for that reason, it's probably here. Face cards are good, but they can get debuffed. The best part about face cards is photograph in like ballot, which means that the high card stacking doesn't matter. So as much as I like it, as much as I like using face cards very specifically, The ability to discard is really nice. There's a lot of things you can do with discards, so I like to discard. Also near the top of revolving door for me is this Joker, whose name I can't remember. Why can I not remember, bro? My mouse. Riffraff. Oh, I remembered it before I got there. Oh, Dill, what's up, man? You also said it. That's crazy. Riffraff. Probably better than a free reroll. And probably better than Stencil Joker. I'd rather fill my Jokers up than keep them low at Stencil. But once you get to that point, something like these, unless it might even be higher, it can do a lot. I tried using it to be pretty creative. It's like the top of revolving door. It does a lot. It does enough, in my mind, to deserve a good slot. Showman, you're last pick in Dodgeball. But you're the top of last pick in Dodgeball, because you might give me another Joker I like. But I don't really like holding you, and it pretty much never happens. So I don't really ever hold it. I guess it probably should be revolving door. It probably does belong at the bottom of revolving door, because I have grabbed it and held it. It just never does anything for me ever, basically. So okay. Rocket is somewhere up in 6 man, I think. It's might even, you could probably convince me it deserves to be in GSM Void tier, but I think I will. I'll put it in the bottom of GSM Void tier. It's gotta be the top of 6 man. It's gotta be. But not over Dr. Bones. I'd rather have Dr. Bones at the end of the run. Or even early in the run. Not early in the run. Not early in the run. That's crazy. But Dr. Bones might win me the run. The money probably won't. It'll help. It'll help get me there, but it can't win me the run on its own most of the time. So I like having him. He's really good. He probably could be in Void tier, but I am willing to sell him once I have enough money. Speaking of revolving door, the diamond money one is probably my favorite to use, but I don't know if it should be this high. I think it probably should. I'm gonna be playing flushes anyway. I don't mind going for a diamond. It fits in with other things. I could just play whatever. It's gonna give me it if there's a diamond in there. I like it. It's not bad. This is the runner. The runner. Where does he deserve to be? The runner, dude. Because the issue is, like, he's not revolving door. He probably deserves to be, like, here. He's a 6th man. Realistically. If you get enough going, you could sell him. But he scales chips pretty fast. A few straights at the start of a run get you, like, 100 chips later. That's pretty good. It doesn't take long to outscale something like the Flush Joker. But at the end of the day, I don't really like him. I'd probably take him over Constellation, I think. Would I take him over Gym Joker, though? Mr. Baseball card? On average, probably not. Not very good. Seance, I don't even know if I've gotten it to pay out in a gold stake run, but I'm not kidding. I would rather try to get it going over Matador. But Matador is way more likely to activate, so kind of has to happen. Satellite's not worth the return on investment. It's literally a revolving door. I will try to get it going and then sell it almost every time. It's so close to last pick in Dodgeball. I'm so close to never picking it up again. It's uncommon money Joker that requires you to spend money to get money, and that takes quite a long time because it takes quite a lot of money to get it up scaled. Scary Face is also gonna be really high. It'll probably be here, maybe? Face cards are better than spades. Face cards could even be spades. But I'm more likely to build around face cards directly than I am to build around spades directly. Because photograph and chads exists, and face cards are really good. So you could convince me that they should be lower, because technically I could just build around spade face cards and get more. But I could also build like heart face cards and get more. I get the full freedom to build around whatever face card value I want for the cost of slightly less chips in some cases. But usually more chips than I would start with, so I like having them. Ace is the 6th man. He's good. But he's more demanding. It's basically like even Steven and Odd Todd combined. I'm pretty sure that's like exactly what it is, actually, to be fair. If I'm not mistaken. Where's my scholar at? Yeah, it's 20 chips and 4 molt. And aces are worth 11 by default. So 31 chips and 4 molt, which is literally what even Steven and Odd Todd give you. So if you're willing to play aces, then you get even Steven and Odd Todd together in one joker. That's the benefit of this joker. You get these two combined at the cost of playing aces. The reason why I have it here and not above them is because it requires you to get rid of face cards, which means you lose the ability to play some of the best decks in the entire game. So it's kind of a rough sell. I mean, if you're playing Ghost deck, you'll get, you know, the ability to make aces probably with those cards, and you'll get cryptids, and there'll be deaths along the way, but it's good. It probably on average does more for me than even Steven or Odd Todd, but it's more required and it locks you out of more later. So if I really think about it, seeing double is like a last pick. I'm sorry. It's really bad. I'd rather have the flat molt, honestly, and this basically gives me nothing. 2x for the requirement of playing 2 different suits means you can't play flushes unless you have Smear Joker. I don't really like Smear Joker that much. So, kind of leaves you in 2-pair territory, which isn't that hard to do in 2-pair, but I'd rather get something else. It's there, I guess. Seltzer is a 6-man. Seltzer belongs probably about here. It's really good, but it destroys itself. And I focus a lot more on cards and in-hand things than I do about out-hand things, so I probably prefer it over Mime. I prefer it over Hiker. It helps Hiker out a lot. But I want it for lucky cards, basically, most of the time. Or money. So I like having it. It's good. Shoot the Moon. I thought this card sucked. It still kind of does. If it worked with steel cards properly, it'd be way better. But it doesn't, so it's lost that race real quick. Sorry, I was rehydrated. It's good though. I've used it recently. I like it. Good with Mime. It's still good with steel cards, but they just shouldn't be on the queens, basically. It has a use. It's very 6-man. It probably goes below Runner. I'm more likely to get rid of it than Runner. But this takes too long to scale, and these are chip-based, and they're not that good, so. Shortcut is also 6-man. It's at the very bottom. You build your deck properly, or just like have the ability to discard, you'll probably be able to play straights anyway. It is good though. I like having it, but I wouldn't mind getting rid of it either. It is really good though for straight builds, and straights are good. But I don't play straights a lot. It probably deserves to be over Castle though. I'd rather have the ability to play the straights than the ability to get this Castle going. Maybe it belongs higher. Maybe I'm smoking. Maybe I'm smoking. Yeah, I'll put it there. I'll put it there. Better than Shoot the Moon, because that requires you to keep queens, which requires you to take a lot of your hand up. It's the same issue with Baron early, but it has a lot more use than Baron early, but loses it in late game, or Baron keeps it in the late game. It gets better. the ability to make the straight happen, plus it's an uncommon, so I'd keep it. I'd say it's pretty good. Sixth Sense is a revolving door, but it's a really good one most of the time. Destroys sixes, which aren't good, and gives you spectral cards, which are good. So, I'd say it's pretty damn good. I think it's probably better than... Oh, this is the wrong one. It's probably better than you. I don't care much about Acrobat. Actually, probably better than you. I want to use the discards to get the Sixth Sense, which means I don't care about the banner. So, if I'm comparing those two directly, it's pretty good. This is 50 chips to repair, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 50 for a pair. It's not bad. It's not as good as 8 molt for a pair, though, in my mind. 50 chips aren't bad, but that's 1 spade. With Arrowhead, that's 2 face cards. Not even. With Scary Face. But I'd rather have it than Banner. It's no discard. Discards are still loud, but you lose 10 chips on average on gold stakes, so sure. Smear Joker's a 5th man, or a 6th man. It probably belongs here. I'm more likely to use it than Shortcut, so I'm more likely to play flushes. But I'm also pretty likely to get rid of it over other things, because it doesn't matter that much. I mean, what you really want to be doing is getting it with Arrowhead and Onyx a gate, or whatever that thing is called, but it just doesn't happen that often. So, it just ends up being an easier way to play flushes, which I don't need. But sometimes it's kind of good, so I'm done to keep it. Smiley Face. Is here, I think. I can be convinced here. Or maybe it should be here. Here's the thing. That's here. It's better than the smiley face or the scary face because it's 5 molt. You want that with photograph. It makes it go so much faster, so much better. You can scale the chips in some other way a lot easier. You need in-hand molt, and you are playing face cards. That is undeniably a fact. Oh, I'm skipping 8-ball because this is the pre-buff 8-ball. This is like, what is it? Winning with 8s gives you like a planet card or something. This is the actual 8-ball that's in the game now. This is the old one. They just left it in the thing. So it's not even a Joker in the game, unfortunately, anymore. It was bad though. It would literally, it would be somewhere in here if I were to put it somewhere, but that's why it's the old one. But yeah, scary or smiley face is just good. If I'm playing face cards, I want smiley face every single time. I'll take an eternal smiley face and polychrome that bitch on spectral deck. It's good. I like it. Second Buskin is a 6th man, but it's a really high up 6th man. Face card replay value is big. I actually value it over the Oops All 6s, but probably under the Burnt Joker. The ability to scale high card in a face card build is better than the ability to replay them. It's 1 retrigger, so it's like quite good, and it's a lot if you're playing something like literally Oops All 6 lucky card face cards, then you're retriggering your whole hand. But in most cases, it's just 1 retrigger on a card that you kind of care about, which is the first one, and then every other retrigger doesn't really do anything. So, speaking of revolving door, we have the guy that likes to lie quite a lot. I mean, I'd rather have it over the Diamond Joker because I just play whatever I want and it might give me something. But, eh. That's about all I can really say. It doesn't do much. Pack 1, pick 1. This is the pair of trousers. It is, I think, probably the best flat molt scaling card in the entire game. If I start with the pair of pants, I have like a 90% chance to win the entire run, I think. It is, like, undisputably one of the best jokers in the whole game for me. It's so good at winning. Is it good for endless? Nope. Is it good against specifically like the Violet Vessel? Not really, but you get to the end of the run and this thing's like 50 to 100 molts. It's scaling constantly. It's so good. It's such a good card, dude. This is what I won my last... It's what I won a couple of like the my gold steals with, but it's literally what I won with the Luchador card. I found this, insta polychromed it on Spectral, and then saw Luchador, and then I locked the fuck in because I was like, I'm just gonna win this run. And I did. I won the run because I was like, I knew it was like a really good chance. Basically, if I don't see Violet Vessel, I win the run every time. And I actually, it's funny because the first time I saw Luchador, I also had a polychrome pair of pants, but I had to sell Luchador to win the run because I couldn't play duplicate hands. So the first time I actually had that set up, I didn't win because I literally had to sell it. I was like maybe like 100 chips off of winning the boss blind, but I had to sell it. And the second time I got it, it was like the easiest win ever. But both of the runs were still wins anyway. Like the pair of pants is way too good. Sorry. To deny any sort of status. It's too good. Is it better than Card Sharp? I don't know if they'll put it up there, but it's definitely good enough to be in Pack 1 Pick 1 because it is exactly that. Splash is like really good, but not at the same time. It's the bottom of Revolving Door. I'll pretty much always take it and then always get rid of it. I don't care enough about it, so. Square Joker's last pick in Dodgeball. It's only good with scalers, like high card scalers and pair of pants. But let's just not kid ourselves, man. It's really bad. 4 chips is bad. If Castle is barely in 6-man and that's 3 chips per 1 discard, then what is 4 per hand? You're only playing so many hands. So, yeah. Steel Joker is also a 6-man. It's not a consistent enough multiplier. But a lot of the times you take Steel Joker, you are getting more. It just doesn't scale fast enough to have it really truly be worth it most of the time. But it is like no requirement outside of Steel cards. So I think it probably belongs right above Blackboard for me. Because if I get a Steel card, I like to get a lot of them. Every so often, you might just get a Steel card from like destroy a card, 3 enhanced face cards, and you might see Steel Joker pop up. And then who cares about him? Most of the time, you want him. He's good. Stone Joker is... I don't know what to do with this guy. I've basically never used him. I mean, he scales 25 chips at a time. It's pretty good. Probably belongs above Runner, I guess. I mean, if I knew I'd had him, I'd scale him. He probably belongs above Blue Joker, maybe. If I know I have him, I'll scale him. There's no doubt about that. He'll get to Blue Joker's point pretty fast. But depending on what I'm playing, might not be my favorite guy to see. But he's good. I mean, he scales a lot of chips. That's like a good thing to have. It's just an awkward time to get him. Stuntman is not gonna be Pack 1 Pick 1 for me, I don't think. Okay. He's either the bottom of Pack 1 Pick 1 or like the top of Void tier. Chat, I need help with this. Let me open my window. If you have any opinions, I want to hear, because I actually need outside opinions on this one. don't see a single message, so I'm gonna have to formulate my own thoughts and be a free thinker, unfortunately. Is Stuntman pack 1, pick 1? Dude, he's really good. On Plasma, it's pack 1, pick 1. That's for sure. But he's really good. Like, when I went my Stencil Joker run, I had 2 Stencil Jokers and this guy. 250 chips flat at the cost of 2 hand size is tough. But he's really good with high card. And high card's really good. It's just boring. He's basically like the trousers. But he doesn't scale at all. He just comes the scale. But you can't multiply him either. So he's worse than the trousers, to me. But is he better than what's below him? I think so. I think I pretty much will always try to work around Stuntman. And if you ever take him, he usually becomes part of the run pretty fast. So I don't know, man. It's so close. It's so close, bro. Might have to go below Chad's. I think it's not too unbelievable for Chad's to get you a large amount of chips. And then also use Photograph to get you the molt. Or Chad's to do both. You might have a molt card odd Todd and get yourself a bunch of molt and a bunch of chips. I think for that reason alone, it's just like, I think I can supplement in a lot of cases what Stuntman will do for something that's very close. And the difference probably won't matter much in the end. It might end up making me play a couple more hands across the run, but for the most part, it's alright. Supernova? I'm sorry, Saban. I'm pretty sure Saban loves this card. This is a revolving door card for me. It is the worst high card scaler that you can use because you have to play high card, which means that when it comes time to actually play a hand, you do a lot worse than you expect to do. So what this does mean is that you can pick it up at any time. And if you play a hand that you really like, it's probably going to be around popcorn level, depending on what you're playing. It might be worth more. Of course, the benefit to this is, if you're playing high card, you can pick this up later in the game and it might be worth 40 molt. If you're not, it's probably worth an average amount of molt, around that of an abstract joker. And if you haven't really been consistent on playing one hand, then it kind of just comes and goes. It's just not as consistent as abstract, so it's got to stay down in revolving door. I'll pick it up for now, use it, and then lose it. So I don't know what else to say. Hold on. God bless me, bro. I moved the mic so far away. I was too stupid to need it. I was too busy thinking about moving it away. You know, I could have just muted it, but superposition is the bottom of revolving door. It should be last pick in Dodgeball, but I actually have used it a few times. It's gotten me at least something. I'll work around it. It's actually probably more likely to get used than like these. And it's honestly probably more likely to get used than Showman. But Showman has a better payout when it actually gets its use. And they probably get used around a similar amount, so. Swashbuckler is also revolving door. It also relies around this tier. Probably about here, though. It's probably worse than Ice Cream on average. And when you get a bunch of jokers, it's pretty good. But when you get a bunch of jokers, you probably have something else you want than Swashbuckler, so I can't really vibe with it. Payer is a 6-man. Where does it lie in 6-man? It's definitely above Constellation, that's for sure. It probably lies around the Steel Joker, honestly. It's more likely to work than Steel Joker, so I'm down to throw it up there. The family. It's more mult, but harder to do. Probably belongs here. You're more likely to make the Jokers ahead of it work, even if they're going to be worth less. Idle is last pick in Dodgeball. It's really bad. It's really bad. And it's really bad. That's about all I can think of to say about it. When, of course, when you make it work, it's absurdly good. But I don't know. Polychrome red card, I think I won already. I can understand that. I hate polychrome red card. Well, I don't hate polychrome red card. I hate red cards. Idle is probably more likely to work for me than this discard Joker. I think. I don't know. The order? It's pretty strict. It's better than the family, though, but worse than this, I think. I think I'm more likely to play it straight. This flush Joker is also 2x. It's more demanding than the pair, but pretty common. They probably belong around the same spot, if we're being real. I like the flush one because I'm way more likely to be playing a flush, but the pair's easier. If I'm playing something like Trousers, I'd rather have the pair than the flush, obviously. So they're both the same, in my mind. 3x. The trio, even. Probably belongs in the same place. I'm probably more likely to make the trio work than Blackboard, and I'm probably more likely to make the trio work than the Steel Joker for 3x. But probably more likely to just suck it up and use the flush than the trio. They're all about the same. These multipliers that take a little bit of effort are about the same place. Throwback, you are probably a last pick in Dodgeball, but more closely to Revolving Door, I think. Nah, you're a last pick in Dodgeball, because if I don't know about you, you suck, and if I know about you, you still kind of suck. But you're a multiplier, so you belong higher up than pretty much anything else here. You probably belong there. Probably belong below the 2x. To-do list is always straight flush, so it is Revolving Door. But it's probably above the golden ticket and below the mail-in rebate. To the Moon is a really bad early game economic Joker and a pretty good later game one. I've had this thing pay me like 40 before, but it's too much to think about. Pretty much never gets used. It's pretty Revolving Door tier. It's like slightly better than the Satellite, I think, but not much. Trading card is a 6th man, that's for sure. It probably belongs about where DNA belongs, but probably lower. Because destroying cards is nice, but more of a good card is better than destroying the bad cards, I think. Would I rather have 100 cards in my deck, knowing that I've duplicated like 48 of them off of something good, or would I rather have 30 cards in my deck, knowing that like a couple are good? I'm probably more likely to, I can basically guarantee I always find something in the 30 card deck, but I'm like 50-50 to find something in the other deck, so I'd rather duplicate. Tribule is pack one, pick one. It's really good. It is better than Canio in my mind. It's really insanely good. It's just photographed, but for every king and queen played, it's crazy good. It's better than Throwback. They're not Throwback. It's better than Hologram. It's really high up there. I can't give it better than Blueprint because sometimes it doesn't do anything, but whenever it does something, it's crazy. Blueprint is just too versatile. Troubadour is a Revolving Door card for me, unfortunately. It probably belongs under the +1. +2 is really good. It makes life very easy to find what you want. The issue is sometimes you still don't, and that means you're down a whole hand. And it's killed me a lot of times when I'm trying to do gold stakes. It has killed me a lot. So it's worth a lot, but if you get unlucky, it's way easier. Well, first up, it's way easier to get unlucky, and if you get unlucky, then GG. Like, you're done. You can always sell it, I think, to get your hand back. I might be wrong, but I'm not really a fan. The bean has use. Nice, I dropped it. Is undeniably like a 6-man. It's like a hold until it dies. How good is it in a hold until it dies scenario? Probably better than Smeared Joker. I mean, it's going to make you a flush or a straight, probably. But I don't think it's better than the cards above it. It's basically just there to help you make a hand. Which, I mean, here's how they help you make a hand, so. They can talk shit about Vagabond all they fucking want, bro. If I find Vagabond early, welcome to the fucking... It's literally a high card Joker, bro. It's so good. It's such a good card. I don't understand how people can't like this card. It's so good. You have no money. Yeah, well, half the cards this thing generates are double your money and money based off of your Jokers because you can't use them in game. Because you can't use them in your hand because you'll go over the money cap. It gives them to you all the time. So you always have money. You just go to the shop and then pop your money and then spend it all down again. I don't personally find myself having many money issues with this card. It activates Lucky Cats. It activates every single, like, this requires this kind of tarot card to make it work. It activates Driver's License. It can scale anything that requires planet cards. It can be used to sell cards. It can do so unbelievably much on its own. It's so good. I don't understand it. But I don't think it's as good as the money. It is, like, probably not as good as the high cards themselves, because the high cards are very good. But it's really good. I will keep this thing until anti-8. I promise you I'll keep it until anti-8. I'll use this thing until I mean, I guess you're right. Bringing it across the finish line is not something you really need to do. But I have to keep it here because it's like, it's too good, I think. It's just too good to not. It's so good. It might have to be top of 6, man. You might be right. You might have just talked me into it. But it's so good, dude. Nah, man. I will keep... Bro, I actually, low-key, I'll keep this thing till 8. What if it gives me a glass card? Or a death card, and I get to bring those into the boss with me? Or I can't win the boss because I don't have something, and then I play a high card, and boom, tarot card that I need. It even gets you... It has get out of jail free cards in it. Like, it's so good. Is it likely to have something better pop up? Sure, but there's so much power getting put in the cards that, like, oh my god, it's so good. I have to keep it at the bottom of GSM Void tier because I personally could be convinced to keep this thing till the end. Especially if I have a fortune teller. I'll keep scaling that thing as we go. Right? I got a driver's license for 3x molt. I got a fortune teller for scaling. And I got Vagabond. Boom. Get me some chips and we're set. We're chilling. We're flying to the moon. It could be whatever it wants to be. I don't even need molt. It could be in the cards. Or chips. It could be in the cards on the bonus cards. I actually think it's worth a GSM Void tier. It's at the bottom. Because I think most people will sell it. But I think it's probably even worth keeping to the end in most cases. It'll probably do a lot more than some other things. Vampire is... The issue with Vampire is it's really good with something like Vagabond. But I like my lucky cards a lot. I like my bonus cards quite a lot. I like my molt cards quite a lot. With minus mask, it's pretty good. It has its moments, but taking it early, it basically never does anything. It's not a revolt. Like, the issue is just like, it's like a last pick in Dodgeball, but it's like the best last pick in Dodgeball you could possibly have, you know? If this was the last guy, it's because everyone else in your dodgeball game is the GOAT. He's so bad. But when he's insane, he pops off. It's just most of the time he does not pop off. Also, why is Square Joker? I thought Square Joker was supposed to be below red card. Maybe I said it wasn't supposed to be the time, but I think I would rather have the red card than the Square Joker. 10-4 is also probably a 6th man. You definitely can build around it, and I do, but most of the time, this is a get rid of card. It belongs probably here. It's about as good as the ace card. You get 2 cards to play instead of just aces. They have a little bit less going on for them. That's 10-4 instead of like 24, but and then there's only 10, so it's a little bit worse. But Wii Joker is a void tier card. It probably belongs with the bowl because 8 chips on 1-2 when hanging chads is a common means it's very easy to just get 1-2 to give you 24 chips. And then that's as much as a stone card with Stone Joker, and that takes way longer to get. You can play multiple 2s. You can just build the deck of 2s, and you just constantly scale chips. It's insanely good. It's just worth playing 2 every time you see it, basically. The trio card, 3 for the chips, is, in my opinion, not very good. It's worse than the pair one, in my mind. Where's even the 2-pair chip one? Where did I put 2-pair chips? Is this the 2-pair chip one? This guy? Why is he so low? I feel like he should be higher based on like what else I've done. Like, there's no way he's that low. Surely not. Yeah, the pair one's way easier to build. It's 50. This is. Yeah, this is way more versatile. Nah, I think it's fine. The 3 of a kind chip. These probably belong by the straight, below it. 3 of a kind is kind of annoying to play at the start. It's not too bad, but it's a bit of bait, I think. Spade Joker. The Joker that gives you 3 on spades. 103, the plunge, the plunge, the plunge. This belongs above the other 2. Probably belongs here. Here. It probably belongs with the hearts. The hearts are better. It's multiplier in hand. But the chips are more consistent on the spades with arrowhead. So they're about the same. I actually think because face cards, there's a good way to get mults outside of just the heart joker. I actually think it's worth the spade over the hearts. It's not really a good way to get just chips, a lot of chips while playing spades. But there's a lot of way to get mults while playing hearts. So I think it's probably worth saying spade one is slightly better than the hearts one in the scenario that it pops up in. But it's not by a lot. It's just I think it's more likely to be worth it than it is to be for the hearts. Yorick is crazy good. I mean, if you get this is the pack one pick one if you get him early enough. He's better than Canio. He's probably better than Hologram. He's probably better than this guy. He's probably the best legendary Joker to get early because the requirement for him is what? Discard 23 cards and you get +1 molt. Yeah, 23 cards discarded to get 1x molt. So you discard all your cards. You've got 1x molt basically coming every like ante and a half or so. A little bit less even, maybe every ante. You get +1 discard, you're getting a lot. Like, it's so easy to get him scaled early And he doesn't require you to destroy face cards or play face cards. He just requires you to play hands and discard hands. So for that reason, he's got to be like really high. I've never really even gotten him early enough to like appreciate the value of something like that, but I have definitely gotten him like early enough to get him to like 3 or 4x bolt at the end of a run, and you're never gonna say no to that. Like, he's undeniably like the easiest one to use out of all legendary jokers, and he's just like any other multiplier, but he's gonna be asking you to do what you already do. Now, of course, if you have like an eternal burglar, then you're owned, but other than that, you're fine, I think. Oh my god. And then after basically 3 hours, bro, of talking about every joker in Balatro, we come down to the 3 of a kind plus molt, which belongs right above probably yeah, I think it belongs above the 3 of a kind chip, but not by a lot. Not by a lot, I'll tell you that much. They're basically the same joker in my mind. They don't do a heck of a lot different. Yeah, I think for the jokers, I think that's it. Look at my goats up there, bro. I'd be happy, like, bro. Look at this. Oh my fucking god. There's some jokers, like, anything at the top of 6 men is like a joker I basically wish I could push up somewhere. But like anything below this point of trading card, I'm pretty much like, yeah, they all belong. Basically, where they are. Like, there's some that I really like erosion and driver's license. But when you look at the reasons of them, it kind of makes sense. But look, the list is pretty good, I think, personally. When it comes to how I'm playing the game most of the time. Where the fuck is my scroll bar, bro? It's not here. Oh. When it comes to how I'm playing the game most of the time, this is about what it looks like. The lower you get, the less likely I am to take these cards and actually attempt to use them in a run that lasts long term. The higher it is, the more likely I am in an attempt to use it in a run that lasts long term. So, boom. That's the jokers. You know what else we got? Oh, it's just like the stream title says, literally everything else, baby. Welcome to challenges. What are any of these challenges? I don't know what any of them are, basically. I did all of them and I don't remember them. Well, Jokerless is gonna go in Q dodge. It's actually the hardest one. I don't care. It's tough. Cruelty also belongs in Q dodge. I think Golden Needle is top frags and lost. 5 card draw. I have to look and just double check that I know what all of these challenges actually are. 5 card draw is you draw 5 cards. This I understand. I wish I could see my mouse. Five card draw. Oh, yeah, this is card sharp and regular joker. 5 hand size, 7 joker slots, 6 discards per round. Oh, yeah, this is free. 5 card draw is free low. Blast off. 4 joker slots, 8 hand size, 2 consumable slots, 2 hands per round. I get how it's supposed to be hard, but it's kind of like an I got mine tier, I think. I didn't explain these on the Switch. I explained everything at the start of the stream, but there's no one here. Free low. That's free elo. I mean, you're gonna win. You know that before you even step into the ring. Hard carry. The run did a lot of work. You might have done a little bit, but the run's doing most of the work for you. I got mine. Yeah, you did some work, man. You had to have done your work to get to the end. Top frag and lost. You played as well as you played very well, but it wasn't enough. In Q dodge is like you should just never even have attempted this one. You knew what you were doing when you showed up. What's monolith? Monolith is just obelisk with marble joker. Yeah, I mean this is just a run that you can ignore. This is I got mine. You might have to do some work. It's probably not a hard carry. Well, it's basically meant to be a hard carry, to be fair. Well, no, it's not. It's like the opposite, right? The Marble Joker is meant to mess you up with Obelisk, but you can just ignore one of them and then use the other one. So that's probably an I got mine. There's a little bit of going. Top frag and lost on Fragile. I know it's not that bad, but I've gotten screwed over it. Bram Joker is... Jokers no longer appear in the shop, and you're just scaling this guy. I mean, hard carry. It's probably not free, but inflation permanently raises prices by $1 on every purchase. Hard carry. There's not much of a... Oh, I got mine. You meant to do a little bit of thinking. I'll give him that. Typecast. When anti-4, all eternal and Joker set to 0. Wow. Yeah, that's like a top frag and lost thing, maybe. It's not a Q dodge, for sure. Cards debuffed after playing them. Probably an I got mine. It could probably be a top frag and lost run, but I think it's probably an I got mine. Medusa. Isn't this just like make a bunch of stone cards? I'll play in cards debuffed. Medusa. Permanent stone card, Joker, 5. There's literally nothing. It's just stone card. Yeah, I mean, find your stone Joker and win, bro. Like, that's just, I mean, that's free. Basically free. It's probably a hard carry. You might get unlucky, but for the most part, you'll probably win. Non-perishable. All Jokers are eternal. I got mine. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, luxury tax. -1 card for every $5. I muted before I sneezed that time. Won my run with the red card. New gold sticker. On raised fist, castle, and delayed gratification. That's big. That's big. One card in hand for every $5 you have. Bro, spend your money. Get it out there, bro. Hard carry. Mad World. Extra hands no longer earn money or no interest, so you're just meant to play. You just get money for playing cards. I mean, that's free though. X-ray vision is just you can't see the deck, right? One in 4 cards are drawn face down. Oh, that's like that's I got mine. That's how I got mine, I think. No, that's top frag and lost. You could get owned by that. You could absolutely top frag and lose this one for sure. Knife's Edge is a hard carry. Rich get richer. Ships cannot exceed current money. Start with $100. Yeah, that's freelo. 15-minute city. Don't play face cards. Got it. Hard carry. The omelet, probably freelo. Because it's just start with 5 eggs, earn no money, right? All blinds give no rewards. Extra hands no longer money, no interest, but you get 5. It's not freelo, but it's basically hard carry. Like, you get everything you need at the start of the run. I got mine. You might have to think a little bit. You might have to think a little bit. Bram Joker should probably be hard carry. No, not hard carry. It's probably freelo. It's not really a hard challenge. Yeah, let's organize these in order. I think the are kind of already in order. That's kind of how they're meant to be. Yeah, I think they're probably all actually kind of fine. I think I beat Gold Needle on like my first or second try. Unironically, it did not take me very long to beat. But yeah. All right, boom. That's every challenge in Balatro. It's time for the decks. Oh yeah, these are slightly different. I just realized I got mine. But this one was top frag and lost, and this is we lose an OT because I didn't change it. Freelo. Checkered deck. I think Spectral deck is pretty free. Q-Dodge is black deck. Plasma deck is hard carry. Oh, it's not plasma. Plasma deck's hard carry. I don't think it's actually free low. I think it's very easy to lose a plasma deck run to a violet vessel at the end. You can get very unlucky and lose. I think the abandoned deck is I got mine. Because you start with low cards, you actually do need a way to get chips. It's pretty easy to run out. This is also an I got mine. This can vary. It can be pretty much anywhere based on where you end up. But erratic deck is like, if you look at what you got and you think that it's basically just playing like a regular run, but it's slightly different. Like, I don't think it's too bad. What's a we lose in OT? This is I got mine. I think this is basically a normal deck, but you get 2 tarot cards at the start. I think Anaglyph is pretty much a hard carry deck. I think it's pretty easy to win. Is there a we lose an OT deck here? I gotta look at my decks. Painted? I think Painted is not bad though. I could see it. Ironically, I think we lose an OT is red. I hate the +1 discard deck. I don't know, man. I didn't like it at all. I think blue is kind of hard carry. I mean, it's not a hard carry. It's like a pretty bad, because it doesn't make it sound like the deck carries you, but I just mean like it's probably easier than the average deck. Painted. Dude, the issue is I don't even have like the best opinion on some of these, because some of these I did like. I haven't done all of these on the new gold stake, so like a good amount of these are from the old gold stake. Like this one's hard carry, bro. If not freelo, you start with a fuck ton of money. But I could give a painted we lose an OT. You can do a lot right on painted and still lose, but I do think it's easier than red. I think this is probably like this. This is probably correct though. I think green is I got mine. It's probably easier than these ones. It's pretty easy to get money on green. Abandoned deck is just more curated, so you get an easier time. Now, the last 2 of these are the planet based ones. So we have Telescope Nebula deck, which unironically might have been one I did on old gold stake, which means it's probably pretty good now. Old gold stake used to be really expensive. It wasn't very good. 1 consumable slot sucked. It's probably a hard carry. You probably just get to buy pretty much whatever you want when you want now. Probably just get to keep leveling up. Zodiac deck is a we lose an OT deck. It fills your shop up with a bunch of other things that are good, but you like kind of undeniably need jokers. And I think like that's kind of the issue. You need jokers to win, and this is just like completely locked you into other things. I would not take Tarot Merchant or Planet Merchant most of the time when I play a run if I don't have a reason to take them. I need to see jokers, so I don't take these things often. So personally, I don't really like the deck that keeps them. But if we look at this, checker deck's the easiest. It's not even a question. It makes so many things better. Would be so different. I mean, I just have to look at like what I like. Checker deck's free. Ghost deck is what I was using to win gold stakes to get my seals. Getting any card that's half decent and polychroming it makes it way better. I mean, a hologram polychrome, a pair of pants polychrome, like these things are so good already that giving it the 1.5x molt, it even makes useless jokers 1.5x molt, which is worth something. Like, they're good. The $14 on gold stake means that like you just make a lot of money. Your econ is set pretty much instantly as long as you don't waste it. And even if you do waste it, you probably wasted it on something that gives you the ability to win easily. So you get more free econ. Plasma deck, I think, is pretty easy until you get to purple stake. Then it has a little bit of difficulty. But even then, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty chill. I could move it around. I could get and I got mine out of there. Anaglyph deck is really good because it fixes the whole issue with skipping, which is losing rounds. So you get a bunch of tags and you only have to skip one time to get the value of skipping a lot of times, which is a really good thing. +1 hand, it just does a lot for you. I think it's pretty good. I think I didn't really like it, but I went back and played a little bit of it when I was doing my gold stickers just to try and get like Troubadour across the line because the one hand I was using was constantly getting me killed. It gives you more money because you always have one more hand. So you actually get $8 at the start of the run, which means you can buy rare jokers, the things that cost, or maybe it's not rare, maybe it's uncommon. I don't know. You can buy the jokers that cost $8 because usually you get 7. I think the difference comes mostly from the fact that I very rarely play flush. Yeah, flush was my most played hand until basically the very end of my gold stakes grind, my gold sticker grind. Then it became high card. But I almost literally did the entirety of gold sticker with flush being my most played hand the entire time I played the game. It like barely lost out at the end. It took over very, very close to me finishing. This deck, I have to admit, is speculative. Nebula deck. I did Nebula deck, I think, before the gold stake change, which meant packs increased in price every round, and I had one consumable slot, and I was down a hand. Playing the hand I wanted could kind of be difficult. Affording to buy the planet cards was pretty difficult, and having one consumable slot was pretty difficult. But now, because packs don't continue to cost more, I feel like you probably have a not too bad time actually affording to look at every planet and get what you need. And because you know it's always going to be there, you never waste money. You always get what you want. So I have to imagine it's not that bad. As for I got mine, abandoned deck, low chips. Green deck's a little different. It takes a little bit more work. I don't really think it's going to hard carry most people. I think if you know what you're doing, it might. Crystal Ball has a lot of benefit early, but that's it. It's just early. There's no benefit through the rest of the deck. And erratic deck just varies. Sometimes it's just not good. Sometimes it's basically the same but different, so you can't even play the same way. Painted deck, I think, is actually really good. I think the +2 hand size makes life much, much easier, but -1 Joker slot is a pretty steep asking price for +2 hand size when you look at Troubadour being -1 hand, but +2 hand size. So, are we saying a hand is worth a Joker? I don't really think that's a true statement. So, if I don't think Troubadour is that good, then I can understand why we wouldn't think Painted deck's that good. Though I do think having an extra hand is pretty good. Because it's pretty easy to win with 3 Jokers. I think there's a lot of setups that can get you a 3 Joker win. I just don't like the red deck. I feel like I had trouble playing it. The +1 discard just doesn't matter nearly as much as anything else because discards don't really get you a lot in the runs. Oftentimes they're just nice to have. I don't like my decks being filled, especially because there's so many rental and eternal and temporary jokers. I don't want my shop to be filled with things that aren't jokers. I need to see as many jokers as possible to get good jokers that I can actually use and bad jokers that I can temporarily use and then get rid of. So it's like, I don't want the spectral, or I don't want the tarot cards. I don't want the planet cards. I want the things. But I switch around for a bit of fun. I never played Checker, though. Checker is really easy to win runs with, but it's bad. I think it's not great for gold stake farming if you don't have a lot of jokers left. I did Spectral because it allows you to make a joker negative for the cost of 1 hand size, which is usually pretty good. It's usually enough to get you something across the line. I did Anaglyph for a really long time until I started running low on jokers because I would just skip a negative tag and buy a bunch of free negative jokers and take them with me. And yeah, Checker deck I only did like once or twice. And that was basically it. Those are like the 3 decks I used. Anaglyph is just like really good if you get a good skip, but you don't always get the negative, so sometimes you just finish a run with all your skips left. And then Black Deck is Black Deck. It's really hard. It's brutal as fuck. -1 hand is crazy. It's -1. It's 1 Joker for 1 hand, right? Yeah, +1 slot, -1 hand. Yeah. But I'm missing legendaries, so I'm just using magic and buying every Arcana pack. That makes sense. I respect it. Alright, that's every deck. Vouchers. Alright. Job's reward. Job is the guy who got his whole fucking family killed, and then God was like, you still believed in me, so I'm giving you a new family. That's Job, and that's his reward, is the new family. Crisp Dap. That wasn't a crisp one, but that's like a, you see him, that's the guy right there. You gotta dap him up, bro. Plain white tees. It's finally our time. It's time for some of these vouchers to pop. If I got the cash, I'm buying it. But if I don't, I'm not, bro. Like, some of these things are not that good. And a broken clock is right twice a day. So, yeah, you get the idea. Jobs reward, boom, instantly, not even a question. This is the best voucher in the whole game, basically. +1 Joker slot is crazy good. If I got the cash, I'm buying the negative, the blank. It's really good, but I do not expect to get the reward for buying this most of the time. And if I see it on like anti-6, I probably am not going to buy it unless I, again, have the cash to do so. Plain white tees for this? I don't even like buying this Joker because it ruins the sell value of your Jokers, which ruins Temperance. And I like opening cards to get Temperance, but every so often I buy it. Same thing with the consumable slot. It's like it's more like an if I have the cash thing. Very rarely do I care much about the consumable slot, though. It is pretty nice. It's more of an if I got the cash. This is a crisp dap. If I see boy, I'm taking him, bro. You gotta take him. He's too good. There are some Jokers. Okay. So these ones, everything I'm moving to the end right now is from the demo or an old version of the game. I think it was just the demo, though. I don't think they were in anything else. And it's just the only place they were in. And they're really good. There's actually some missing from here, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that is where they are from. So then we have Honed, the Super Honed. If I see Super Honed, it's Crisp Dap. Plain Witties. The extra hand is a Crisp Dap. This is sometimes. This is also sometimes. This is finally it's our time. If it's early enough in the game and I got the money, I'm buying it. But it's not an if I got the cash thing, because I will go out of my way to buy it. This is the same thing usually. This might be Crisp Dap. Because if I buy this, I'm pretty much always going to buy this. It doesn't happen very much, though. So I could see it being here, but it would be at the top. Same thing with, like, this would probably be... Nah, it's probably more like this. This probably looks a little bit like this. And then this is here. I mean, this isn't any better than one hand. The trashiest voucher is missing from the list. Oh god, what is missing from the list? Don't tell me there's something missing. Crisp Dap. If I want to see that guy. If I got the cash, basically. This is a broken clock. I don't even ever want to buy it, bro. Buy playing cards in the shop. Oh, wait, they're not here. Wait. That's crazy. Wow, I'm surprised. Okay, I'm going to use these two right here as the playing card one then. I'll use these. This is Crisp Dap though. I want to see spectral cards. This is Crisp Dap. This is plain white tees. This is like if I see it, I'm buying every time pretty much. But only if it's worth it at the time. It probably belongs here, honestly. I'm probably more likely to buy it than this. But if I see this, I'm going to buy it every time. This is a broken clock, I think. It's good, but on gold stake especially, -1 discard when you only have 2 discards is crazy. Speaking of broken clock, it's this and this. This is more like an if I got the cash one, but this one's broken clock. I don't really like seeing planet cards that much. I basically never buy this thing. So, yeah. These are both kind of if I have the cash. I'll buy both of them, but I don't really ever care too much to actually go out of my way to buy them during the run. This is also, I think, if I got the cash. But this is a crisp DAP. I love seeing this guy. Actually, that's not true. It's a plain white tease. That might be the other way around, honestly. I'll buy this and then not buy the other one because I don't have money to buy it most of the time, I think. This is the job's reward. This is the GOAT. This is a plain white tease for sure. This is a crisp DAP, and this is also a plain white tease. Because I am way more likely to buy this tarot card thing. If I have all the jokers I want, I will buy this. If I have all the jokers I want, I often don't buy this. Voucher. This thing's pretty good. This is an if I got the cash one though. I will also skip this if I don't have the cash. So let's get into tiers. Let's break it down. No Lucio type shit. I think this is better. I don't like keeping my money that high. It's probably also better than Hone. I like seeing the overstock way more. Spectral, again, I don't like keeping my money that high, and I probably prefer it over this thing. I don't like keeping my money that high, and probably over this. And this is probably this. The cards value thing, huh? Yeah, I think these are pretty good. Hone's probably at the bottom of this one, though. Same with this. I'm probably more likely to buy Hone than this one. I like having this one if I had the money, which means it's probably over this. If I got cash, I mean, blank is the definition of if I got cash. There's no doubt. This one goes to the bottom. This one goes up to here. I'm more likely to have it than this. I'm probably more likely to do this way. And then the bottom tier is probably this. This is probably the one I'm most likely to buy. And this. And then Telescope, I pretty much never see it because I don't ever buy... Or Observatory. I pretty much never buy Telescope. And when I do, I don't pay attention to Observatory ever. And then playing cards in the shop is probably here. And then the enhanced cards in the shop is probably here. Maybe. Maybe I'm less likely to buy it than the regular one. I pretty much only ever buy it if I have hologram. So... yeah. And I never buy the planet card one pretty much ever. Yeah, I don't even buy it when I have Constellation. So, yeah. Tarot cards, baby. We're going to go in reverse order. And by reverse order, I'm going to start with pack one, pick one. That's an always, bro. Like, okay. Don't get me wrong. Dude, is it though? Yeah, I know it is. If I'm not farming gold stickers, I'm pretty much always going to buy this. But it's like sometimes you have a one run and you don't need the legendary. Is that crazy to say? That, like, this should probably actually be here? I've skipped legendary jokers getting gold seals. I literally have. I've skipped 5 or 7 soul cards skipping, like, while getting gold seals. I just, if I already had a run that was going to win... or my worst card was something else, then I wouldn't take it. I'm pretty much always willing to make room, though. If I'm not going gold stickers, I'm pretty much always willing to make room, so it probably has to be there. Death. Nah, I gotta go in order. But I'm gonna go in reverse order. I think I actually will go in reverse order. This is a revolving door. They always are. Same thing with this, but it's better than that. I think all the suits No, the suits are probably 6-mans. They just are. Sun, except for Diamond, probably. Diamond's probably the only one that doesn't make it into 6-man. It's probably Revolving Door. Because it's the least likely suit I am to use, but I will use it. They pretty much match the way the Jokers go. Stone is last pick in Dodgeball. I don't use it ever. I probably use it more than I use the Judgment card. But I like the Judgment card early, and I don't really ever care for the Stone card. I just kind of use it sometimes. Gold is Revolving Door. I'm willing to hold it until the end of a hand, but I also am very willing to sell it. Which is basically how I feel about Judgment. But I'm probably more likely to hold Judgment than I am to use this on the Devil card. But I'm probably more likely to use the Devil card than I am to use the Judgment card. So they kind of occupy the same spot in my mind. Temperance is a Void. It's good. You can make it worth way more. But if you buy the price decrease things, then it kind of gets worthless at the end. Death is a pack one, pick one. It's probably even better than the Soul card because at the end of the day, if you're just trying to win a run, sometimes the Soul card's not going to actually do it for you. But getting another Glass card will. It kind of depends what pops out of the Soul card, really. But the Death card also doesn't... Yeah, I think the Soul card probably belongs there. It's the most likely thing. This is a Void. It's probably better than Temperance, though. You want to control your deck at all times, regardless of whether you have money or not. If you already have money, you'll take more money, but you'd rather to control your deck. Strength is a 6-man. It's worth selling, but it can be really good. It mimics the destroying of cards, but it gives you more of a benefit than just destroying them. I mean, Wheel of Fortune is a Revolving Door for sure. It, again, you use it and it does nothing a lot of the time. So sometimes you just pass it, sometimes you pick it up and or you get it and you sell it. Because sometimes you literally can't use it. Much like Judgment. But I'm more likely to use it than both of them, so it goes up. Hermit is a pack one, pick one though. It's pretty much always $20. If it's not, then it's kickstarting your economy. And if it's not kickstarting your economy, then you're really poor and you get to usually hold it for longer. I guess that probably means it should be in Void tier, huh? But above Temperance, because it's more likely to be worth money. Glass is also in Void tier. It's like the most valuable card in the world to hold, because every so often, you just get to use it and win. So, I mess with it pretty heavy. Steel cards are probably at the top of 6-man. I'm likely to use them. They're very good. But eventually, you just run out of things to steal card. Or sometimes, like if I see any of these things in a pack, I usually use them before the steal card. Maybe not Justice, but Justice has so much value in holding that it's really hard to... Justice might belong here, actually. The issue is the value in holding Justice is really strong, but the value in getting it in a pack when you don't know what you're going to get is not that strong. So it probably belongs here. You're always happy to hold it, but you might not always want to get it. Whereas this is like, you don't mind getting it, and you don't mind holding it. Wild cards last to pick in Dodgeball. It's the worst thing in the game. It gets disabled by 4 boss blinds, and when it doesn't, it's alright. But if you control your deck, you don't need wild cards. It does help Driver's License, I'll give it that. Bonus is also 6-man. It's above suits. I'd rather buff my cards than change their suits a lot of the time. It just until I know what I'm playing, I guess. And even then, a lot of times I buff and then destroy versus change. So, Emperor is Void. You always want to see an Emperor, pretty much. You always love using it. You always love fighting it. It's 2 cards for the price of 1 card. You love to hold it. Empress is about the same place as the chips. I don't know if it's worth more or less, though. It is Molten Hand, which is nice. But you usually get that some other way. So, I think I'll do chips. Nah, I'll do Bolt. High Priestess is Revolving Door. I'll sell this thing often. It's probably a 6-man. You hold it. But It's usually just to use and then sell both cards most of the time. Sometimes it's worth something. It's probably worth, it's worth less than deck control. It's even worth even less than the diamonds, I think. But it's pretty much always going to be $2 back, which is nice. Fool is, again, like the ultimate 6-man. It's nothing on its own until you find something that's better than it. And lucky cards, low-key, are a pack one, pick one for me. They're definitely not the best tarot card, but I'm almost always going to use them. I like using them a lot. They are actually really good. They can bail you out of a lot of situations. They can make unwinnable things very winnable. They can also screw you sometimes, but like if they screw you, if you lose because it didn't hit, then as far as I'm concerned, that's just how the cookie crumbles. You've built your run around a place that you can lose, which is something I do often, but I win pretty often, so I'm pretty fine with it. But a lucky card is quite honestly, if it was the old lucky card where it only gave you one, this might be a 6-man at best. I was always using them pretty much back then too, but it'd be pretty undeniable to say they're bad. It gives you 2 lucky cards. They're really good. Their special card is a multiplier scaler, which is insane. They do so much for you. You should always get them, in my mind, early, because they can boost your economy, finish a lot of hands in one turn because they give you 20 mults, and they can get you a multiplier that scales. So it's crazy, in my mind, to not think that they're at the very least in the second tier. So that's that one. Next, boom! Pack one, pick one, baby. Yeah, black hole goes up top. That's not even a question. It's everything. I think 5 of a kind is a 6-man. It's there until you play flush 5, which is probably a pack one, pick one. This isn't gold stake. How often are you playing flush 5 in gold stake versus a 5 of a kind? Wait a second. Now I gotta think about this. I think flush house is kind of a revolving door. You don't really want to keep playing flush house. It's good for when you get it, but then it's out. Flush 5 is really good to scale, but it takes so long that I think you can scale something else first, and 5 of a kind is the first thing you can get that scales the craziest. This is a 6-man. It's at the bottom of 6-man. I'll level it up every time I see it if there's something I want, without a doubt. Your last pick in Dodgeball. 2 pairs is also a 6-man. It's more likely to be played, and it's like the next thing I'll go to outside of the high card probably, and the pair is probably below the high card. The pair is good to upgrade, but I'd rather just upgrade the high card because I can always play a high card and I can't always play a pair, but it is still good. 3 of a kind's revolving door. 4 of a kind I think is the top of revolving door. It's the most likely thing you're going to switch off of, but if you get caught on it, then it's not bad. But it's usually just a hand to get somewhere else. I think full house I'm pretty happy to play. I'm pretty happy to see it. I'm pretty happy to see the flush for sure. It's the one I'm probably the most happy to see. It's the hand I'm just most likely to play. And straight. Straight's like a better scaler than flush, but harder to play. I'm less likely to play it. And most of the runs I'm not playing around it because my deck's so destroyed that you're not going to play it. It's a 6-man. I'll play it until I find something else usually. But it's at the top. It's actually worth scaling if you actually want to scale it. So yeah, Black Hole ended up in the tier by itself. Oops. This was originally called Black Hole tier, and I didn't expect it to be by itself, but it's worth it, I think. It scales everything. I know it's basically as good as whatever card you get, to be fair. But it does level everything up, so in case you do need to switch, you're beasting. Okay. This is going to be the hardest one for me to do, I think. Because, do I remember all of these? Probably. This is the Acorn. This is RNG Wants Me Dead. I think the Acorn's basically free in most cases. You play one card. First off, you get to cheese it, and then you play one card and you find out where pretty much everything is. Cerulean Bell is Sense of Danger. You could pretty much always get owned by Cerulean Bell unless you play high card. So, that's fine. Crimson Heart is... What is the Crimson Heart? I didn't click that button. Nice. Crimson Heart. One random Joker disabled every round. That is like... the definition of RNG Wants Me Dead as like what this is, what the words say, but is in tiers. It's like a let me think. I gotta really think about if this is gonna kill me or not, and if so, how do I get around that? Actually, it's probably Famous Last Words, because Famous Last Words are like, if as long as it doesn't disable blank, I'm fine, and then it disables blank. This is let me think. It's less likely to screw you, but it can kind of fuck you over. But you can also just think about it a little bit, and you'll probably find a way around it. Clubs are debuffed. I think any debuff suit is basically Sense of Danger. That kind of just depends on what you're playing. No repeat hand types. Same thing. Sense of Danger. It's just kind of tough. Cards drawn face down after each hand played is RNG Wants Me Dead. It's killed me, but it basically requires you to get super unlucky. I think this is Famous Last Words. It's surprising how much you can get owned by half everything. It really is. Spades are debuffed is same thing. Sense of Danger, you should be a little worried, but probably not too worried. This one's Hearts debuffed. This is the discard 2. This is an RNG Wants Me Dead. You just die to RNG in this boss. It's pretty much the only way it happens. First hand drawn face down. This is also an RNG Wants Me Dead. It's the easiest one to work around, but if you just accidentally discard something, then you can get owned. -1 hand size is RNG Wants Me Dead as well. It's not one that I ever really worry about too much. What is this X? All face cards drawn face down. This one's Sense of Danger. Or let me think. You have to think a little bit. A little bit of thought goes into that one. But it's usually fine. The hook is play one, or the mouth is play one. That's an RNG Wants Me Dead. If you just don't draw what you need to play, then you're usually gonna die. This is... Let me think. It could be Famous Last Words. It really could be. Because you're usually like, I can beat that in one hand. But I think you usually know when you see the plant pop up. Or the needle pop up. If you're gonna beat it or not. It's not really a surprise. Set money to 0 is RNG Wants Me Dead. It's not even a boss blind. It just kills your money. This is a Sense of Danger, I think. No, just let me think. It shouldn't kill you because if you have a good hand, or what I do, if I have a good hand, I just double skip and go straight to the boss and then beat it. Often. I do this pretty often. And you don't usually skip in high stake runs, but I'll do it all the time for this boss blind. But if you don't do that, then this can kill you because you have to think about what you've played to get there. This is the plant. Yeah, this is like 2 blinds per hand emoji. Of course, if you're not playing face cards, it's fine. But if you're playing face cards, you get shot dead. I think, like, this is also true for the flush variety of things. But, like, you're usually leveling up flushes. So if your cards have a lot of power in them, it can be scary, but you can still usually work your way around it. Depends how late in the run you get it. I could be convinced to put all the suits and let me think, but usually it's a Sense of Danger. Now, speaking of famous, or like Sense of Danger, or like let me think, this play 5 cards can be pretty rough. RNG Wants Me Dead on this one. The W is the money per. I mean, that can kill you, but it's like it's a Sense of Danger. It really can.
It's not gonna ever kill you, but it can destroy your run pretty hard. This is also a let me think, I think. One of the ones that you know. This is a sense of danger. Probably RNG wants to be dead. You need to get unlucky. If you're playing high card, it doesn't matter. If you're playing a set hand, you probably can win 1 or 2, so you just have to get it. So 1 in 7 cards face down is RNG wants me dead for sure. Diamond debuffed is going to be the same thing, sense of danger. Verdant Leaf. All cards debuffed until 1 Joker sold is, in my opinion, let me think. You have time. You have a little bit of time to prepare for these. And then Violet Vessel is going to go here. Violet Vessel is simultaneously the easiest one to clear because there's no RNG involved, and the hardest one to clear because if you play high card, it kills you pretty much every single time. I think if I see Acorn, I'm pretty happy. If I see the bell, I'm like, okay, I gotta worry a little bit, but we'll see what I can do to make it so that even if it draws something I don't like, how much I can fix it. Verdant Leaf, selling a Joker, that's kind of alright. 1 random Joker every round, sometimes is unwinnable. You just will never win it. And the boss blind, Violet Vessel, 2 blinds per hands emoji, you know if you're gonna win or not. You know when you see it if it's gonna kill you or not. There is no doubt in my mind that you know that. Skips. Good Kid, Mad City, Van, I'll pop the latch and let the door slide. No skips in the Good Kid, Mad City tier. Reroll the boss blind is literally desperation. Pills here. Yep. For that, yep. I should describe this. Good Kid, Mad City is no skips. Because it's no skips. MacGyver is like smart way to use a skip to do something more than the hand in the shop would give you. Pills here is a temporary boost to try and get you somewhere to get something more better. Desperation is the word. And not a chance is it's not gonna happen pretty much ever. This is a pills here. It's like a temporary. You could use it as a MacGyver, but it's usually temporary. Pills here is the same thing. Or the free shop's the same thing. Sometimes you just need a free shop to try and get you somewhere. Not a chance. Desperation maybe. I very rarely. It's probably not a chance. I never skip this unless I'm so unbelievably free that I would just never skip it in a case where I really need it. Desperation. This could be a pills here. Hand one's MacGyver. I think the discard one is desperation pretty much always. Maybe it'll save you. I think this one's MacGyver. It's pretty much a no chance, but sometimes I've used it to win runs. This is per skip, so it's like a no chance, but maybe. Spectral Pack is pills here. Foil, the Jokers. The hand is desperation for sure. Foil and Hollow. These are also desperation, I think. They're probably the most likely desperation one, though. Same thing with the planet. The planet is like, oh, if I use the planet, I'm like omega desperate. This is more of a pills here, though. I don't ever use it out of desperation, really. It's more like maybe I can use something to temporarily help me keep going. The polychrome is usually desperation, though, because you're looking for a polychrome. Same thing with the rare, but I think the rare is probably below these. Yeah, I'm going to use the double money. This is a pills here, but it's very border on desperation. But it gets use. Not a chance. I don't think I ever use this thing. This is the pills here. Better than the cards, though. Better than the negative. Better than the boss blind. Not better than the shop. I think the uncommon one's more likely to be better than the rare. No skipping on 1 is not good kid Mad City van. I'll pop the latch and let the door slide. It's probably MacGyver though. It's, I mean, it doesn't really fit the tier name, but there's more of a reason to skip on tier 1 than any other tier. So I'll put it there. I think this one can go in MacGyver tier. Same thing with this one, maybe. Nah, it's pills here. It's more pills, or it's less pills here than the regular. But probably less than the, or more desperation. This. I don't usually skip this unless I really need something. Pretty much not a chance I skip for this, but I might. Like, literally not a chance, pretty much. Double my money, pretty much not a chance, but maybe something happens. Foil and hollow and the jokers are like all pretty much not a chance. But I'm more likely to skip for a foil than a polychrome, I think, at the start. Free shop is MacGyver tier. I think you can actually make it work. Hand size, not a chance. More likely than the boss blind, I think. I don't even know. Less likely than the boss blind? There's a reason, I guess, to do the boss blind. Tier 1, pretty much never gonna happen. The rare Joker, or the uncommon Joker. Less likely than this, but more likely than that. Less likely than this, more likely than that. Probably that way. I don't know. I don't know if I'm more likely to skip for the foil or the hollow. They're kind of the same, honestly. There's a chance I skip for this one at the start. No, there isn't. I'm more likely to skip it in round 1 than I am in pretty much any other round, but I pretty much will never do it. And there's like no chance I ever do this on round 1. It's so worthless. I'm more likely to do it than the hand size or the voucher. The hand size is the one I'm least likely to do. It's not even a question. But good kid Mad City is no skips. You should pretty much never be skipping, but every so often you find a way to spice your life up, I think. You could give Mincy that some other ones here. Like, this should be here, but it's also, like, kind of shit. Like, I don't know. These are ones that, like, have a use more likely than not. And $25 on the first one, a free shop in the first one, no skips at the start. Money in hand level ups are both really good. Like, everything else is kind of like... this usually gets pulled out of desperation, but it can get used for other things. And then finally, the last thing... Thank God, because it's like 4 hours of me nonstop talking. My throat is killing me. Well, it's not killing me, but... yeah, we got Eyes for You. That's the Always. That's a song by the Always. Crisp Dap is back, making its return again. Firm Handshake. The Irish Goodbye. I'm not telling you when I'm leaving, but I'll say hi to you before I get there. And get out of my head. Firm Handshakes for these. This is a Crisp Dap, I think. Yeah, this is an Eyes for You, I think. It's so good. Nah, it's Crisp Dap. It's Crisp Dap. This is also a Firm Handshake. I'm happy. I'm not gonna give the Crisp Dap to the steel card for no reason. He doesn't deserve it like that. For a gold stake run, he's got use, but he's not got that much use. Irish Goodbye, you're not gonna know when the gold card's going. Eyes for You, always, bro. Get out of my head, wild card. Irish Goodbye, stone card. I mean, I'm pretty much never gonna get rid of the... okay, here's the thing. I'm pretty much never going to turn a stone card out of a stone card. But I will delete it from existence. Pretty fast. So let's get it out of my head. I'll Firm Handshake this. Irish Goodbye. This is also a Firm Handshake. It's probably like here, though. I want to discard cards I don't want to play. Steals are kind of cumbersome to keep. Same thing with blue, but if I play the hand I want, it's permanent. So we like that. I mean, this is eyes for you. Eyes, no doubt. This is an Irish goodbye. I'm not going to tell you when the money's going. You better know. Eyes for you and eyes for you on these two. It's like undeniable. A negative joker is there's just no reason basically not to most of the time. Polychrome is really good. I mean, this is how I set my ideal card up. Polychrome, lucky with a red seal. Like, that's my ideal card. I'm sorry. I know glass is better. I know steel's better, but this is my ideal. I would play this every time. I actually think that these are crisp dap, though. The foil and hollow are really good. There's no version of this that you don't want on a card you're going to play multiple times, basically. Like, anything above the Irish Goodbye is like a card that I look at, and I'm like, those aren't bad. I could probably Irish Goodbye these two, though. Because I'm never going to say when they're going to go, but sometimes I choose to keep them around. You never know, man. They're firm handshakes. I like when I see them. But yeah, that's all. That's the whole shaboodle. We got our jokers. We got our challenges. We got the decks. We got the vouchers, and these are the cards. This is the not upgraded card. This is the upgraded card. We got the tarot cards. We got the planets. We got all the boss blinds. We got all the skips. This is probably the stupidest one. These like skips are way too situational. Like the skip for playing cards is a skip I'm way more likely to ever use than like the skip for $25. Actually, that's probably the truth. This is pretty much the only time I'll ever skip for $25. This is like not a chance tier. Unironically, it's probably worth more to me than all the other money ones. Like, I don't know. This is pills here, and this is pills here, but this is probably more likely to be here than this is. But the cards are way more likely to be desperation than anything else. I just need something. And then this. I mean, this one's also kind of dumb because, like, these are all, like, take away the lucky card, and this is what everyone's top looks like, basically. But in my mind, the lucky card is, I mean, it's the lucky card, bro. I love that. But, okay. We're 3 hours in, and by 3 hours, I mean 3 hours and 50 minutes. That's the end of the tier list, though, and probably the end of the stream, because I have been talking nonstop for almost 4 hours. So, believe it or not, my voice needs a rest really bad, and I want to eat dinner, because I started the stream way later than I expected to, because I spent a lot of time making tier names. I expected it to go by a lot faster than it did. It didn't. So I spent a lot of time thinking, and then I spent a lot of time yapping, and now it's 11 o'clock at night, and I want to eat food, and my throat hurts, so I'm leaving. We're getting out of here. I'll put this bad layer in the end stream screen. I'll close Balatro. You lost your music. I got the videos for all of this shit, and I'm disappearing.